All right, everybody, welcome back to the 21-22 season preview for this year in the EBL atmosphere. That was a weak intro, but we're going to roll with it because we have too much to talk about today for me to re-record an intro. So this is our big season preview podcast. This is where we go team by team and we talk about everything going on in the league, every move that was made this offseason, our overall general thoughts, and then at the end we'll give some predictions for MVP and finals predictions as well. We're not doing all the other awards that we did last year because who gives a shit? So welcome in. Joining me first, as always, is Wick. Wick, every single podcast we've done, you've been a part of. Welcome back to your fifth one or sixth one. I think you were wrong in what you said that you were on last week, but but I can't remember how many we've done. But welcome in, Wick. How are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Tyler. How are you doing?
We're doing good. Everything's good. We're ready to start another fun EBL season. I think we're doing good. I'm ready to talk for 2 hours about fictional basketball. That's what I'm ready to do.
As am I.
Good, good. Hungover still? We still hungover a
Oh,
little bit?
a little bit,
Okay,
but
good.
we'll soldier on.
That's how we like it. We like you a little bit out of sorts on this podcast. It really gets the character flowing. So, and then joining us for I think the third straight time. I think this is the third podcast in a
I think
row.
so.
Dan, welcome in. Welcome back, Dan.
Thank you. Nice to be back. I've got my cup of tea. I'd explain to my extended family members why I do this podcast and what it is and who it's for, or 30 people who care about this. So there you go. Here we are.
Do you find that your family thinks you're now weirder for doing this?
Yeah, I use this as a fun fact. You know, when you're like in work situations, they're always like, "What's a fun fact?" I use this one because it's gonna be like the weirdest fact that's on the table, probably one of them. So it's good
Okay.
as. Might as well use it.
I'm a professional podcaster. Oh, wow, that's so cool. How many people does your podcast reach? At least 28. At least 28 it reaches. So we're making big waves. Oh,
And
gosh. All
Baldwin.
right.
No, well, it's
And
not at
Baldwin,
least
and
it's
Baldwin.
28 people who care, and then not all of those listen to it. So
That's fair. Yeah. So I think at any given time, we might have 15 listeners per podcast. So haven't done the stats. We'll figure it out. All right. So welcome in 21-22 EBL season. It's about to start. It's a big one. It's a good one. We are going to start with the West this year. We talked about the East first last year, so it makes sense. We move on and we talk about the West first. So we will start with the Midwest and then go to the Pacific. And then when we move to the East, we'll talk about the Atlantic and we'll go to the Central. We're not going to switch divisions around. We're not going to flip flop or anything crazy like that. We're just going to go from West to East and we're going to call it a day. So let's start with the Midwest. We are going to start with the Dallas Mavericks, a rebuilding team. Not much in the way of competing this year, I don't think. And I mean, and by I don't think, I mean they're not going to compete much this year, but that's fine. I think that's the way the Legion kind of wants it to be. He's got his own first this year, so he'll hopefully have another high draft pick. Let's talk about some of the moves that he's made. Let's start with Dan. Dan, let me get your thoughts on the Mavericks offseason so far. What do you like about them, and what do you think they look like this year?
what moves did they make? I can't remember that now. The picks obviously really good. Gage Everard, showing us that he was the best point guard pick of the lot. I like Kobe still really good. And then I mean. I really like the way the Mavs are actually. I think
Yeah.
the of the two Stern brothers, the Mavs have really shown their yeah, that I think at the moment they're GMing a tad bit better than Ted Stern, and that's okay. But that's probably my call between the two Stern brothers. There you go.
Oh, we say fuck Ted on this podcast. Let's go,
I
baby.
like Ted. Ted's
No.
great. Ted's great. But really, the best moves, the best draft was really the Mavs. They had a really amazing draft, and a lot of those players did do well out of that. So yeah, good job.
Yeah. I know we're not saying fuck Ted. We all like Ted. I will say, though, I think when you have two brothers in the league, Wick and Jackal, Ted and Legion, you're always going to kind of compare the two. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter. It's just going to be like, well, okay, so why aren't you doing this like your brother did? You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll talk more about the Pacers later. We'll talk more about Ted later. But I do agree with that. They didn't make too many moves. They mainly just kind of hit on their draft picks, which honestly is fine. That's kind of the moves you want to make if you're a rebuilding team. You don't have to do anything crazy. I don't think they did too much other than just make good picks. Wick, let me get your thoughts. You got some thoughts on the Mavs?
I do. I think they're in a great spot for a rebuilding team. Tyler, I don't know about you, but I think I'm ready to do a Gage Everard victory lap. I think you also had him as your top point guard from the draft. Yeah. We'll see how he does, of course. Games still need to be played, but that definitely was a good pick. And we're also entering year 7 of, is Erwin Bland worth a first-round pick?
No.
So
it's my favorite. It's my favorite off-season game that we play.
It's not a question. It's about
we'll see if it finally happens.
Get a first-round pick somehow, but he's not worth a first-round pick in my opinion. But sorry, Legion, I don't want to tank his value, but I think we've already publicly said this. So.
Move him to small forward and trade him to H-Dog. You'll never notice. It'll be fine. Just,
Bland does strike me as the kind of player that, because I think I had him. Is the kind of player that when you have him, he's perfectly fine as a backup PG, maybe shooting guard, but like it's just no value trading him anywhere else. It's that kind of, you might as well keep him because, or unless you need the salary, which I think that may be the other thing here. But yeah.
Yeah, I offered him an expiring and a second for him this year, and I thought, well, maybe that'll help because why the fuck is Erwin Bland on your roster at this point? He is just eating 14 mil of your cap that you could be signing elsewhere. That's the only thing I don't like that Legion's done. He's holding on to Bland to try to get a first for, but it's like if you moved him, you could sign someone else in free agency who is not Erwin Bland. You know what I mean? So that's, I guess, I don't have a problem with Bland. I think that like this whole, well, I'll just keep him because I think he's a good backup. It's like, when are you going to need him? By the time you're ready to compete, he's going to be, in free agency again. What are you going to do? Sign him to another 3-year deal? Like, that whole thing doesn't make sense to me. I think you need to cut ties. I think you need to be done with them. I think you need to move on and try to get someone else on this team with your cap room. There's no reason to hold on to someone who is now going to be a backup point guard for you because Gage Everard looks like he's going to be a starter. So that's my only issue with what they've done. But otherwise, I think they've done an exceptional job. I think they've done great. Everything looks good. So I props to Legion on that. I said it after the draft. I said I added Legion. It said, great job drafting. You did an amazing. I talked about it on the podcast too, I think. So I don't want to glaze them too much. But, good job overall. I just think there's a few little things you can do. Give up on Bland. Give up on him. Yep. Just be done with it. Move on.
Never give up.
Consider
Never
two
give
seconds.
up. Legion.
We consider 2 seconds for Bland.
I did not consider 2 seconds. Maybe I will sign.
Work sometimes.
Maybe I'll sign Salo Doughton and try to move Salo Doughton in 2 seconds.
Where is Salo Doughton right now? I don't know where he is.
He's in for. You can get him on the waiver wire. Waivers him tomorrow, baby. You can get Salo Doughton. Come get your Salo Doughton here, fresh off the press. So, I might sign him for fun.
Keep him on the waiver wire, please. That's where he belongs.
No, we gotta make sure he stays in the league forever. Salo Doughton will always be a part of EBL until he decides he is retired, and then there's nothing I can do on that one. All right, I think that's good for the Mavs. They're not going to do much this year, but I think they have a good future. They got a good base, and I'm excited to see what they do with their next first round pick. You guys kind of agree with that?
Yep, well said.
Great. Let's move on to a team that I think will do something this year. Let's talk about the Denver Nuggets. They had some good. I would say they had some good TC stuff happen, but really the only good TC thing they had was Brian Plum. Everyone else just kind of stayed the same. Dacey didn't go up, which is fine. Not everyone goes up. Every training camp. I still think Dacey is going to be crazy good. They did make the move with me for Zarko. And I presume they'll be starting Zarko at center this year, which is, you can say what you want about Zarko at center. There's no way he's worse than fucking Lucius Lath. So I think that's a big upgrade for him there. What do we feel about the Nuggets?
Well,
Yeah, it has
that's
to
my
be.
question,
I mean,
really. What he's going to line up with Jokic there? It's just Jokic is such an interesting. I mean, Jokic has been moved so many times now,
yeah, which
and
is
has
wild.
it's one of those things where does he fit best? And I'd say he's a power forward next to a. But yes, I agree. Like he's obviously an upgrade on what they had, but would that be sufficient
Yeah,
for what they need? Is I don't think so. I'm not sure the Nuggets would do. I mean, I think they'll be a playoff team maybe. But the West is bloody stacked. Like like 1 to 5, maybe it's pretty
yeah.
tough there, and so they're definitely not competing with the best of the West, and so it's kind of that midfield battle really they're stuck in. I think with kind of the Jazz and who else there the I was gonna say the Grizzlies, the Jazz, the Warriors,
You're,
that kind of midfield,
you're not
and
wrong.
maybe the Grizzlies as well. I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's a tough West. So yeah.
They call it Midwest for a reason, baby, because it's nothing but mid. Uh,
I think as Mofo said, I think he said it best. There's going to be a lot of 140 to 139 games with this team.
yeah,
They, on paper, and actually we saw glimpses of it in the playoffs against the Suns in that first round. This team is an offensive juggernaut. I think that's even more so the case with Zarko replacing Lath.
yeah.
But of course, you sacrifice defense with that move. So I think that's my main question with them, because I think they have the offensive firepower to compete with the best of the best. It's just how well their defense holds up.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I don't really have any concerns about them. I think Zarko will do fine. I think they could use a better third big now at this point. Lucius Lath is probably not a third big if I
Yeah,
had to guess.
but they do have Winfrey, who I think is a little bit underrated. He's a bit of a defensive all rounder. He's A at shooting guard and point guard, A plus at small forward, A minus at C. So he's kind of a super six kind of player at the moment. He's kind of Zach
I will
Merrill type
say
player.
the fact that Mason Winfrey has, better defense at shooting guard and point guard than he does at center and power forward is absolutely hilarious to me. No notes on that one. Just so funny. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
similar
think
to
they'll be fine. I
Nate's,
mean,
but
if
yeah.
yeah, that's true. But if they put out a starting lineup of Zarko, Winfrey, Oyervides, Joels, Dacey, with Plum kind of off the bench at multiple spots. You have Eber Byron for the backup point guard spot. I guess you would do Lath as backup center and power forward. I think that
Yeah.
would all be fine. I think it was also Mofo who said, I don't want to just keep going. Well, Mofo said this all podcast, but I think it was Mofo who said there's going to be a lot of 45, 51 teams that are going to be in the middle to bottom of the West because of how good the West is. So I could see Denver as another one of those. I could see them as like a 48, 49 win team. That wouldn't surprise me. I think they're really good. I think they have talent everywhere. I think as long as he doesn't start Dacey anywhere other than point guard again, I think they'll be pretty solid this year. And if Dacey continues that dominance that he put on in the playoffs, where he was averaging like 13 or like 30 points and I don't know what was it, 12 or 13 assists per game. Obviously, he probably won't. But if he can get even close to that, if that's what he left off on last year, who's telling what he's doing this year? I think that this Nuggets team could surprise some people. I'm not entirely sure that I wouldn't try to move Plum for more assets while the iron's hot. I'm not sure if Plum is still. I'm still not sold on Plum. Basically, it's kind of what I'm getting at. I think he just had that massive training camp. Why not try to move him to a team that needs a small forward and try to get some assets out of it and move to some other things that he needs? I think that would be an ideal scenario for him if he could do that.
It's also a timing thing, right? Like the West is stacked, as we keep saying. Like at the moment, it's like, do you just
Yeah.
sell assets and try to move your timeline a little bit later on, or what do you do? I mean, it's still tough though because you've got someone like the Spurs, who are still really young and have a lot of potential going forward. But anyway,
All right, let's talk about Houston Rockets and my old friend Seth. Not many offseason moves so far. Not many moves, period. The only thing they really did was drafted Yu Shin, who did not look good after this training camp.
Clip in
That's probably
your
going to be
draft
a
predictions, Tyler. Clip it in. Clip in your draft predictions.
I think we all kind of called that. I think that was. I do understand. I mean, especially like the risk reward of it. I mean, if he goes up at all, you're talking like maybe like a day one starter for them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't. He dropped multiple spots, and now they're kind of the exact same team that we kind of talked about last season. Lardy looks like Charles Lardy still. Pangonis. I don't know if Pangonis went up. It looks like he might have stayed the same as well. I actually don't. I should have been more prepared. And I'm gonna speak. I'm not gonna cut this out. I'm just gonna speak to you, the EBL audience, for a minute. I didn't really do too much of the comparing and contrasting between training camps before this, so I'm just kind of doing this based off vibes right now.
Wayne went up.
And my vibes are is that Houston's the exact same fucking team that we talked about last year. Like literally, I don't know what the difference is. So
Denny Wayne went up 3.
Danny Wayne does look good. Yeah, Danny Wayne does look great. I cannot believe he had that big of a training camp. But I would like to add, now we have a little caveat to talk about the Rockets. He did post in the EBL chat that Bill Anstead was on the block for multiple picks. So might be looking to move Bill Anstead, which how do we feel about that? Let's hear. Wick, let's start with you. What do we got with the Rockets this year?
I mean, look, I'd want to see what Danny Wayne can do at in starters minutes before, I move off of one of the best power forwards in EBL. You could probably roll out Denny for a few sims, but it's probably going to come out at the expense of wins. So I don't know how I feel about that. I would probably use Denny as a trade piece to find some upgrades along the perimeter if I was Seth. And then my other question about the Rockets is, how do we guys feel about Charles Lardy? Is he a franchise point guard?
As of right now, I would say no, but with still the possibility to be one. I mean, look, he shoots really efficient. He shot 47.5% last year. He nails his free throws. He doesn't take many threes. Have you guys? He only played.
He didn't play many games. So
did he only play 21 games last
21
year?
games.
He
He
was
got
injured,
hurt, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember now. I don't pay attention to teams that aren't mine. Sorry. Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so let's maybe use the year before as more of a comparison. He shot 45%, 82% from free throw, about 400 from threes. I mean, 11 and a half assists per game to 2.7 turnovers per game isn't bad. I do need him to do something in training camp, though. I need him to either go up one in inside or go up one in defense or just don't bottom out to what his attributes are right now. If he keeps these attributes, I don't like him that much. I liked him on the premise that maybe something would go up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't expect him to just kind of like keep looking this way forever. I thought he would develop somewhere else, and he just hasn't. His game stayed the exact same. So, I don't know. I haven't given up on him yet, but he's definitely not where I thought he would be or where I think he needs to be, if that makes sense.
Yep, exactly. And that's why I brought it up, because of that stagnation in ratings. It does make you wonder whether he's the point guard you want to put your faith in on a team that, isn't so, stacked with perimeter talent.
If you're trying to get something out of Denny Wayne, do you consider starting Bill Anstead at center and Wayne at power forward and making Pangonis a backup like third big just to try to drive some value up? Like, is that something you would? Because you can't put Bill Anstead on the bench. Yeah, and I know Pangonis is good, but I'd rather have Pangonis on the bench than Anstead, I think. And I think Pangonis would make a better third big than Anstead would anyway, because I think a lot of Anstead's value comes from how good he is defensively, and he rebounds better. Would you consider that? Would you start Anstead at center and Denny Wayne at power forward to try to see what you have in Denny Wayne?
Has he played center?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
To be quite frank with you, I don't think so. I can't imagine who would have played him at center.
Yeah. Perhaps. I mean, yeah. I mean, if depends on how fast he wants to trade him. I mean, he could probably go with Anstead on the bench. On the bench. I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean, it's not gonna. This team isn't gonna win anything anytime soon. And so, I mean, not to be rough. I mean, it's again, it's it just doesn't. It's still got a few holes there, and it's almost a situation where do you want to just kind of sell your assets and kind of start again a little bit? I don't know. It just seems a bit like there's something not quite there yet. Well, it's obviously not there yet, but like it's not quite there. There's so many question marks that you almost want to capitalize on what you. Yeah, maybe Ansett is a good way of selling and trying to get some more assets and trying to retool around Lardy and Denny Wayne. But Denny Wayne isn't young either. He's 24, but he's not. He's not a rookie. I don't know. Yeah, it's
right.
It's a tough
Anstead's
position.
27 though. I think selling Anstead would fit the timeline better than selling Denny Wayne.
Agreed.
But also, do we love that Denny Wayne is 6'6"? I don't. I'm not a huge fan of a 6'6" power forward.
Jake Lease is 6'6", and
so
he's probably a top 3 power forward.
That's always a I mean, that's Jimmy.
I'm such a height purist.
A height supremacist.
I'm such a height purist. Oh God!
I've got nothing else to add about the Rockets, though. I think they are what they are right now. And it'll be interesting to see where
I
think takes them.
I think this should be a season of figuring it out. I think if we're just going to close on the Rockets, I think this should be a season of figuring out what you have, who does good where, what everyone, and see what you can get out of everyone. Like if you're going to move Anstead, make sure Denny Wayne is good before you do that. I think that this is experimental / move your assets year for them, and I think Seth can do it. I know he's been out of the league for a little bit. He's got to get back in the swing of things, but I believe in him. He's a former title winner. He'll get there. He'll be okay. That's like he'll figure it out, or he won't. One of the two. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, moving off the Rockets, we are going to go to our EBL champions of 2021, the 2021 title winner, the
KWO. For life.
Didn't make any moves. Didn't really change too much. Luka Warrior went up in training camp, which is a scary thought. I kind of hate that a little bit. Looks about the same as they did last year. Rolly Graham didn't die, which is a huge plus. Ryan Glore didn't die. That's a huge plus. Are you guys kind of where I'm at? They're going to be right back at the top of the West this year?
Yep. Nothing else to say, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They're not really any different from last year, and that's probably a good thing, right?
Right. I mean, I don't see really much else they could do. Like, what could you have done? It's just like I don't know. You guys, you've won a few things. It's just like after like I went after the year I won the ring. I don't know. You can't really tinker that much with it because you kind of you have to play it back and see what it's going to look like a bit. And I think in similar ways, there's nothing really he could have done much more. I think in this off season.
I thought I recalled after one of you won the title, we moved some draft picks for Kelly Leeds. Am I wrong on that? Would that not be considered tinkering? I don't.
No, I think that's after I lost, isn't it? Was it after I won? Oh, was I?
It was after you won. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Anyway. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
Moving on. It happens. Look, I lost one of my best players after my first title in free agency because I was messing around with bids, and I didn't bid on him until day 2.
We call that fuck around and find out.
Back to the Wolves. Yeah. I think that I
back to the Wolves.
Right. Yeah, I really like them. Complete, very deep team. Think they're well contenders again.
One thing they could have done was use their MLE to bring in a depth piece.
Yeah.
And this team could use a bit of depth. They're not the youngest, but yeah, that's really just a very minor critique.
I would like to mention, shout out Noah Bond, just when I thought that you were not going to be ever good after there was a lot of hype around you at the beginning of your career. You decided to go up one in inside and one in outside this training camp. Congratulations for making yourself relevant again. Really proud of you for doing that. Do we think Luka only went up one in defense, so he didn't go up anything crazy. But, this team kind of is better than they were last year because they didn't do anything, and they won last year. But the pieces that they did have did not go down, and most of them just improved or did nothing. So, unless you're saying the rest of the West got a lot better, which, I guess you could say that for the Spurs or, you could say that for maybe one or two other teams. But, I just kind of expect them to run it back. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think one thing to keep in mind with the quo is that Rolly Graham he did go down in outside, it looks like, and he's 34. And from experience, even with, even if a player at 34 just has a neutral TC, the internal regression is still a factor in play.
Yeah.
So I want to see games played. Because I still think he might be their weak link. And I think he was just good enough last season for them to get over the hump. I don't know. That's my one question with them this season.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that'll be something that you can figure out within the first 2 sems, which is good though. So I think they'll be able to figure that out quick and put that together.
And have a first to trade.
All right, and we are now joined by the one, the only, everybody welcome in the actual existence of Jackal to the podcast. Welcome, Jackal.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you.
Do we look alike?
Yeah, enough so.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you had to go hire him, Wick, to stand in for your alt account, but nice meeting you, hired actor.
As someone who's smarter than me once said, you can't pay anyone in their right mind to fake Jackal's personality.
It's a good time.
Isn't that sort of a compliment to me that people are starting to think I'm like my brother's alt account?
Yeah, compliment to you. Maybe less of a compliment to Wick. That does feel like some people might think Wick has split personality disorder at this point. So, but yeah, good for Jackal, not great for Wick.
Yeah, I don't know if I want anyone thinking I behave in any way resembling Jackal.
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. No one's ever had an issue with Jackal ever before. So
no one
right,
has.
Let's talk about the Spurs.
No one here has ever had Jackal blocked at any point in time.
Certainly not anyone in this chat. Certainly not anyone in this podcast either. That would be crazy. All right, let's go ahead and talk about these San Antonio Spurs. Had a few good offseason moves here, and the players have developed well. Jackal, let me just go ahead. Let's just start off the rip. Jackal, let me get your take on your team since you're joining us.
I think I have the best roster in the league. I'm not saying right now. I think the Suns might have that, but I'm saying in the long term with Berkeley's development, with Lorenz. Lorenz is already better than most point guards. I don't know how he's going to play if he had started minutes, but he's already better than most point guards in the league. Tyler, I bet you really regret not doing that Berkeley in a first for Girison move.
If I hadn't gotten 2 firsts and Ewald Kruger out of the whole thing somehow, I would be more upset about it. But the fact that I've been able to flip things around, I'm a little less upset. Although it does sting just a little bit. So you are onto something there.
Has Lorenz started much?
Yeah.
At all?
So he played 82 games as a backup. There's a decent sample size. He looked okay last season, but he went up a ridiculous amount. I mean,
he looked fine.
His turnovers look like they could be a bit of an issue, but his handling did go up.
Yeah, if his handling went up from what it was last year, I mean, last
my
year
overall take on the Spurs, I think we're very likely 55.
There's a lot of lag, by the way. I don't know if you guys are catching up on that.
I mean,
like I said,
my overall take on my team.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Australian internet sucks.
It's actually, yeah. We had this thing where our government decided only 15, megabytes per minute or whatever fucking upload. Like, they decided this in like 2013, and we've had it ever since.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
All right.
Can't tell if that's legit or not. Is that a legit thing?
I think it is. I think it's legit. Legit.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's called NBN. Yeah.
They fucking suck.
All right.
All right. So let's get Jackal's overall take on his team real quick. I don't know if I can keep dealing with this lag, and I'll cut every time I talk about this lag out. I will be able to edit most of this. The good news is we'll be able to cut the silence out. It's just the talking over each other that I think. So I just kind of want to just get everyone to just, let's just let Jackal do his thing. We'll let Jackal talk here for a second, and then we'll kind of move on. Jackal, you go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Initially, I thought it was like I would say something, and then it's 5 seconds straight of like silence. So I'm like, did I say something bad, or I don't know. So yeah, the Spurs. I think we look at our roster. I'll give a little context to the chat. I was going to make a big move for a certain player. It probably won't happen now on the Denver Nuggets. I think you could probably guess who that is. And that was a key part of my offseason. I didn't make that, but I did make the Barone move. Barone kind of sucks now. I only brought him in because of the defense. I thought it was going to be cool. My team overall, I think we're 55 at least. 55 wins. And in the playoffs, anything can happen. I'm very confident in our chances.
That's a little more humility than I expected out of this. So I think that's a rational and actually a reasonable take. Wick, I would like to hear you talk about your brother's team real quick before Jackal leaves us. I just want Wick's honest brother-to-brother take here.
I think he's done a great job in his second tenure. Not only behaviorally, which has obviously improved a lot since that crash out after CC's GM rankings, which fed families. But he's done good GMing. He's hit on most of his draft picks. He's had an incredible draft record since coming back. The Eric Goal move was, after TC, in hindsight, a great deal. Seems like he sold quite high on Goal and Mantis. Barone move, it was one late first price tag, but it probably won't be the greatest move after that TC, but you could do worse. And they've still got heaps of firsts and young players that they can use down the road for a starting five upgrade. So yeah, the Spurs are in a really good position, both in the short and long term.
I think that's well said. Dan, do you have anything to add while we have Jackal here? Want to speak to the man himself?
Nah, good job. I think the Spurs do look good. They do look really good. There's some really good additions there. I do think that I wonder if the time frame is actually slightly shorter because of lines than we are talking about. He's 30 now. But that's still a decent window. I don't see any issues with that. But it's he's still a key part of the squad. And I guess if Lorenz does really show that he's an elite point guard, then this is a different conversation altogether. But Lyons does. If we're relying on Lyons as the key point guard, the time frame maybe is a bit shorter than we're talking about at the moment. But yeah, still incredibly talented team. And I think if it carries on this trajectory, Jacko might be in for a shot for his first ring. So yeah, great stuff.
Yep, I'd agree with all that. And to your point about lines, if Lorenz actually ends up being, what he might end up being, then there's going to be no transition there. There's just going to go from Lions to Lorenz, and that's going to be it. I think the only bad move that he might have made this offseason was the Barone move, which was a fine move to begin with. It was just a hindsight move. We didn't expect him to go drop down a little bit, and that's fine. If that's the worst move you make this year, then who gives a shit? So I think everything the Spurs done has made sense. I think they are going to be definitely one of the top two, if not best team in the West this year. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end, kind of where I have everyone ranked and where I have
top two.
I think the finals and everything's going to look like. But I definitely have them. I have them top two. So top two, Jackal. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe someone will get fucking
let's
hurt.
Let's kick this guy out of here.
But Jackal, thank you for joining us, and thank you for coming in and talking about your team. Do you have any parting comments that you would like to make to the EBL universe before we go about our ways?
I would like to say that CC's rankings before the end, my first tenure, are what drives me, every day to be better. I'm on a revenge tour. So, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say it drives him to be a better person, but it wasn't.
So
he's on a revenge tour.
Nope.
Oh, no.
It was fuck everyone. All right, Jackal. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we can have you on for like a long-term
thanks for
one,
having me on.
Eventually. That'd be good. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Jackal. See you, Jackal.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Bye.
All right. Thank you to Jackal for joining us. And so we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the next team. We're going to talk about the Utah Jazz. The Jazz made all their moves last year. They made a few moves this year. They moved Bruno Folds in a trade that everyone highly regarded. They brought in the international free agent Eddie Bowler. He came in, and then Travis Ford had a nice TC this year. So they actually look pretty decent on paper. What do we think about the Jazz? Let's start with Dan. Dan, you have thoughts on the Jazz this year?
Well, what I thought about is that we should have got Jackal to get some comments on the Jazz before he left, but that's all right.
We missed out.
But
next year,
I think Mofo has him just missing out on the playoffs. He is, I think, 7th. Oh, sorry. That's not right. 9th. How did that even work? The 9th below the Warriors, Nuggets, and Grizzlies. I don't know. I think they might be slightly better than that. But it's tough. I think it really comes down to whether Bowler, how he plays. I mean, it's just one of those things with IFAs, right? You just have. It's just such a. IFA centers have traditionally been pretty good, pretty decent, all around. And so, but yeah, I mean, if he's decent, or good even, then the Jazz might be making a lot further than, or a little bit higher up the table than we possibly have them right now. I mean, the rest of it is pretty decent. I think for me, I mean, it really comes down to that and how well he actually plays.
What's your take on it?
I mean, as Tyler said, the Jazz made most of their major moves before the deadline last season. I think Max Merlin had a sneaky good end of year run at point guard for them. His stats were legit. He was doing like 25, 11 on 50, 40, 90. And the turnovers weren't a problem, point guard, which has always been. Yeah, and if he can maintain that play, I think having him alone at point puts the Jazz firmly in the playoff discussion for me. They've got Kofi Beasley, who's a top 3 shooting guard in the league. Oscar's, he's going to be a 20-point per game guy, good rebounding on good efficiency. IFA Big was a good pickup, although I don't like B rebounding in my bigs. But we'll see how he goes. I think this is a good team. Probably need a center, although they still have buyers. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good, well-rounded team. Could definitely win a playoff series or two. I don't know if they're in that sort of contender tier though, and I don't really know how they'll get there either.
Yeah. He also made the move for Colin Reeder. Forgot to point that out. He traded for Colin Reeder from Detroit. My problem with the Jazz has been the same problem I've had with the Jazz for what feels like at least 4 seasons now at this point, where I just don't like their bigs. And it seems like they keep trying to make moves to change their bigs, and I still just end up just not liking their bigs. I don't like Colin Reeder. I'm not even sure if he's better than Drago Boljovic, who played a lot of minutes for them last year. You never know how Eddie Bowler is going to play. Is that B rebounding might bring him down a lot? Is that scoring even going to be good? We've seen A- centers who can't score before. Jamal Byers we know who Byers is at this point, and it's like, it's my same problem with them every year, and I don't know. Well, also, Tyler. Yes. So Thank you for pointing. I wasn't going to point it out again because it's just beating a dead horse at this point. But but I don't love Byers. Also, pour one out for my homie McQuell Quick. You're officially dead. It's nice little run you went on for
our
homie. People thought you might be relevant. Yeah, our homie. Sorry.
Hang the banners.
Hang the banners. Yeah. I might. If the Jazz cut him, I'll keep him alive for the rest of his career. I like the Jazz. Max Merlin, I didn't love his training camp where, he went from what did Merlin do? He went down and inside, and he went down and outside. He did go up one in handling, but dropping 2 and scoring is strange to me.
Yeah, it was less than ideal.
The year.
Yeah. I just want to see how it goes.
Yeah, me too.
It's all if it might not be that meaningful to his actual production, but we'll see. It could be.
I think you have to try to move Purcell roles at this point. This is the only move I would make if I'm the Jazz. Try to package Purcell roles to a team that needs a point guard. Maybe if the Timberwolves, if Rolly Graham has that rough start to the year, like we kind of thought, maybe. Throw rolls out there. Say, hey, I got a Purcell rolls for you, and if you can gather some more assets and try to change your big, you got to change your bigs. And am I alone in this? Like, I hate his big men, and I've always hated his big men. Like, I can't be the only one, right?
They're okay. None of them are anything special, and I think
it's like an island of mid to me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean. I don't like Colin Reeder at all.
No, me either.
I don't think anyone does. I know Mofo hates him.
Right. Yeah, I don't like him at all. MSC didn't even like him. He was trying to upgrade him last year and couldn't do it. Now he's like, oh, you want him as like an upgrade? Sure, take him. You know what I mean? So,
Actually, I have a funny Colin Reeder story. So, CC was asking for my input about some trade with MSC, and he sent me his message, like the message that he was going to send to MSC, like with his proposal and rationale, and he apologized for the Reeder trade in his message.
Yeah, that's so funny. But like, also, probably need to do that. You need to say you're sorry for a move like that.
You do.
Reeder did look like he might have been something whenever they traded him, but unfortunately he's not, and it doesn't look like he'll ever be. So, good luck on that one. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Jazz will be fine. They got a lot of talent. They got, Ford had the big training camp. Oscar's good. Kofi's good. Harry Quick is pretty good. Max Merlin, Purcell rolls. It's just like, I like them everywhere except for their big men. And I don't hate their big men. I think if they could just get like one that I consider like a really good big man, I think I would like this team a lot more. But as of right now, that's kind of where I'm at. So I agree with Mofo. Late playoff team, maybe right on the outside looking in, or maybe right on the inside looking out. It'll just kind of depend on how everyone gels. So, any more thoughts? We good on that?
Yeah, I'm good. Good on them.
All right. Let's move on to we'll talk about my Memphis Grizzlies.
Ooh.
Let's just someone just jump in.
Well,
someone
it's really hard to evaluate the Grizzlies because they changed their roster every 5 minutes. So it's
Ooh. Shots
Who knows?
fired.
Between
not
now
wrong.
and Sim 1 of the season, I mean, it's probably going to be a different squad again. So, I mean, it's all shots fired. All three of us are guilty of, constant trades. There's no one on this pod is right
true.
now
That's true.
is innocent. But it's one of those things. I think that Wicks Dyson trade between us ended up with that TC ended up maybe not being the best for you, Tyler. Unfortunately, I mean, I think at the time it was a risk
Scammer.
both ways. Well, I think it was a risk both ways. I mean, Dyson could have equally gone down as much as Wicks could have. But I think that front court of Bilby and Kruger will be strong. I really like it. I think it's nice to see Kruger coming into his own a little bit. To be honest, Kruger was, I think, the first trade I had in the league. He was the center that Crimson picked for Streeter and then disappeared, and then Streeter was kind of asking for that deal to be done constantly. And so anyway, that's a bit of lore. But that's, I think it's it's a I like the Grizzlies. I think they're a class in terms of talking about the kind of midfield. I guess I think they're a class above the Nuggets and the Jazz and the Warriors was the other one. Yeah, and the Warriors. I think probably gonna be struggling to compete with the tops of the West, but I think definitely good enough to be well in the playoff range, in my opinion, anyway.
I mean, it was a very active off season for you, Tyler. A couple of questions I have about your team.
Question and answer. Great.
Is the plan to still run inside? Because I know that's what you were thinking with a lot of your off-season decisions.
No, we backed away from the inside offense, and that's it's in part with Musa went down and as point guard and inside. Wicks went down and as shooting guard with the inside. I couldn't get another inside piece at small forward that I wanted to get, so the plans I had kind of changed. And the training camps I had didn't help either. My team definitely kind of looks way more like a balanced team now at this point.
It does.
Yeah.
It does with Cuddy and Wicks and Musa. I think it could all do very well in balance. Of course, you've got pretty good bigs.
Yeah,
that's like 4 or 5 rock solid big men in that rotation. So that's always a plus. And of course, down the road you'll be able to flip Rick Teitler for a lottery pick, which I'm sure
we're working on, baby. We're trying.
Which I'm sure definitely won't be denied by TC.
Have you tried?
Blake, did you have any other questions? I know we just did a little Q&A part. Did you have any other Qs for my A's? All right, I'm gonna take that as a no. We gotta fucking
I'm okay.
speed through this.
Yeah,
thing.
I think I'm all good.
Great. Yeah. I did have one. I did have a few plans fall apart this offseason, obviously. I really wanted to get a RANRF like I do every offseason. That is always and forever will be my goal at the beginning of each offseason. Try to get a RANRF. I still tried now. I mean, I don't give a fuck that he went down a little bit. I'm trying to win in the next 3 years, and I think his value will not drop significantly in the next 3 years. That's where I'm at with it. After that, good luck, because I think he might be toast. But yeah, so that one kind of fell apart, and then and I apparently I can't find a small forward. I really want to move Cuddy to the bench. That was my next plan this offseason was. I try to find a small forward. I don't know if you guys have looked really hard to find a small forward in this league right now. It is nearing an impossible level. Shut up. That was before. But then I wouldn't have a shooting guard. So it's like, you win some, you lose some here. I still don't hate that move. I don't hate that move as much as you think I might. I think
no,
Wicks
I don't think you
okay.
hate it. I don't think you hate it either.
fine.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense, Ian.
Yeah.
Look, they're both geezers. They're both geezers. It won't matter in 3 seasons. You'll both forget about this move.
I mean, my team
I'll
won't
forget
matter
about
in 3
tomorrow
seasons.
once
So
they're off my team. All right, that's enough talking about me. No one cares. No one listens to this for me to talk about myself. So let us move on to another team that desperately looked for a small forward this offseason, the Golden State Warriors. They settled upon Jason Carter.
Right now, isn't it?
I'm telling you, Good luck. You need a small forward. Good fucking luck. Unless you're like me and trade one away. Did not appreciate being reminded of that, Dan. But yeah, no, Golden State Warriors. I think they look. Wicked did not have a good training camp. I mean, they had a few training camps where, oh boy, everyone else looks about the same. I think this will be roughly about the same team as last year. Raven Olmstead, actually, okay, didn't look bad.
B minus offense. No, thank you. I'm good.
It's better. He went up. He went up and outside though. The fact he went up and outside is a good sign for the future. He was a C plus.
But then down and inside, I think.
But then next year, if he stays at B minus and goes up to B or B plus and outside,
already.
Yeah,
we
don't need to end any more friendships over Raven Olmstead.
We have to go through 29 teams, and you guys are here talking about Raven Olmstead. What the heck is happening?
I love Raven, Tyler. Let's be friends.
Well, you just kind of think with B minus scoring, he's really close to like Jimmy Ellenwood.
Yeah, he's only 2 off Jimmy Ellenwood, guys.
All right. Let's get serious. All right. So Warriors, someone give me a serious Warriors take so I can stop laughing about this.
Dan, what are you thinking?
Is incredible. I mean, it's one of those things that like you've got a point guard that is of his caliber, and you just can't lose. Like you're just gonna be always decent and there and thereabouts. But there's still way too many holes, I think, in this team too. I mean, Jason Carter is fine. I mean, it's better. Like it's better than what they had. Wicked going down is rough. Did he go down a lot?
Yeah.
It was inside. He went down. Is that right?
He was. I had it. What did he go down in? He was B minus A minus B. So he went up in outside, down in inside and defense.
Oh, so it might be okay.
Not as bad.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, Ellenwood's still elite. I mean, it's a good squad. It's still got a few. I don't think it's quite contending level yet. Well, that means it's on its last legs, isn't really. Ellenwood's 32.
Yet.
Yet. But there you go. I don't have too much to say about the Warriors. I mean, I think they're kind of in that again, like that midfield of the West, and Woods be battling there. I don't think they're going to be contending this year, so what much more can you say about that?
Kondak also went up one and inside. He had a plus training camp at the age of 28. He went from B minus inside to B inside, so just want to throw that out there. In case you guys thought that
I don't know if Wick has a different view. I to be honest, I don't have much, that's all I can really say,
Yeah, Wick, you got anything?
Yeah, I don't really have much to add other than that I don't love Jason Carter, and I don't think he's going to be a huge upgrade over Kobayashi.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're probably going to lose him in free agency, regardless of whether they bid. So, they needed one and got one for a not very expensive price. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to add. I think Dan said it best.
They look like a 4th, 5th seed
team.
in a regular year, right? Like a regular kind of conference, 4th, 5th seed kind of would be fine. 4th, 5th, 6th seed maybe.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, but
if they're in the
right,
if they're in
right
the
now,
East right now, they're a 5 seed.
Oh yeah,
it's not many teams
Yeah.
to have to beat. For
anybody's
that.
a 5 seed in the East. Barrier's pretty low.
I'm gonna petition Mofo to move my team to the East. That's kind of where I'm at with it. So we'll see how that goes.
Memphis might be closer to the East Coast than West Coast.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it would be.
We're still talking Vancouver, baby. We ain't in Vancouver anymore. We're in Memphis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Memphis being in the East probably makes more sense geographically.
Go ahead and fix it, Mofo. I'll wait. We'll continue the podcast when Mofo fixes it. So, all right. Next we have. Do you guys want to talk about Raven Olmstead for 21 minutes, or do you want to move on?
No, I'm good. Let's
Okay.
keep this civil.
All right. Let's. All right. Well, let's move on to the Los Angeles Clippers, who did not do much They made a few moves. They did a few things. But mostly draft. I don't know. What Wick, how do we feel about the Clippers? You start. You go.
I mean, look, they're well and truly in rebuild mode. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, the next few years, and it's going to be one of those longer rebuilds. It's going to be one of those things where it could take 4 or 5 seasons to get this roster back in sort of playoff contention even. And, I'm excited to see what Freeborn does this season and see if he's someone they can build around. But outside of Freeborn, not seeing a whole lot else in terms of like actual like foundational pieces. But they've got heaps of draft picks and they've got a long runway to figure this out.
Happily noticed that of all the like 8 draft picks that they have, the only good ones that they own are their own. I mean, the Warriors might be okay, but other than that, you have what? Timberwolves, Suns, Jazz, Knicks. Like,
Knicks will not be pretty good.
That doesn't inspire a lot of hope for me for this team though, moving forward. So, they gotta make some more moves, I think. But I mean, the rebuild's coming along though, and I think Erwin Freeborn, depending on how he plays this year, he looks like he might have hit on that pick. He went up decently in his first training camp, so I think it'll all just kind of depend. We'll see what they do, but it's definitely a rebuilding team. It's definitely a little ways away. What did he do? He traded Randall Tinley away. Did he get like a second rounder for that, or what ended up happening on that? I can't remember. No, I don't think
no
he got
idea.
Anything. No, it might have just been 1-for-1, which is interesting. But I like Greg Thresher more than I like Tinley, so I guess good job. I guess I don't really love either, but
Third stringer for third stringer trade.
Not much to talk about with the Clippers this year.
They are more of a wait and see team.
We're just gonna have to.
Yeah.
No offense, we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see what they do. They're gonna make a few more moves, and we're gonna see how what they picked this year developed. We're gonna see what Freeborn does, and we'll go from there. So, shout out Clippers GM Guillermo. Oh God, I don't want to botch it. I think it's Guillermo, but I could be Guillermo. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So, shout out you. You're doing good. Keep it up. Hopefully these picks hit, and we'll go from there. Let's talk about the other rebuilding team in Los Angeles. Jesus Christ, both of them. The Los Angeles Lakers. Dan, let's go with you on this one. What do we feel about the Lakers, the moves they made so far? How's their rebuild going along?
I might be the worst person to start with this one. I looked at a team and went, this team's bad, and kind of went on. Oh, I was sad about Jiang Lee going down. I wrote notes for every team. I did prep for this thing, but when I got to the Clippers and the Lakers, I wrote, they are bad. So, yeah.
Okay, let's not start with Dan then. I'll start a little bit on this one. They've got their picks this year. They've got the Hornets, they've got the Spurs, and they've got the Jazz. Next year, they have the Hornets. They have their pick for all 3 years, which is great, but it reminds me a lot of the Clippers where I'm like, how did you somehow manage this rebuild and only get picks for the teams that are really good right now? Like, I think your best move with this is to like package some of these picks and try to move up at this point. I don't know if you're getting anyone at like 24, 25, 28, which these picks easily could be. So I think that's interesting. I do. Caleb Bale looks good again, so I think that's nice for him. I think that'll help either the rebuild or being able to move him and get more firsts for him. Other than that, there's really not much to say about the Lakers. They didn't have their only pick this year was Umut Yüksel, and he does not look good. So that sucks. But yeah, I don't really see. I think it just is what it is. I think it's the same as Clippers. We're just gonna have to wait and see what they do, see how their young players, play. He's got to try to move. You got to try to move. Who they got? Zombor Powell. Try to move him. You could probably move Malaxos for something. I'm considering giving a first for him at this point. Who fucking knows? Caleb Bale. I don't know if you even keep him. Do you try to flip him? He's already 26. You know what I mean? Like, strike while the iron's hot. I don't know. What do you... let's just focus on Caleb Bale for like 2 seconds. What do you do with Caleb Bale? Do you keep him, see if he develops more into a franchise point guard, or you try to flip him now and try to get more assets?
Trade him. I
What
would
can
say
you
trade
get for him, though? I'd say trade him as
Probably
well, but what
a
can you get
first.
from first? Yeah, mid first, maybe.
Yeah,
You could get 2 firsts for Caleb Bale right now. I'm pretty sure.
maybe.
You could get Celtics first.
I think move him to small forward. He won't even notice. I'm telling you, this is a move, guys. We figured it out. I like H Dog. I'm not trying to talk shit.
I love
It just
H Dog.
naturally- Yeah,
That's my
it just
guy.
naturally comes out of my mouth.
I don't
love you,
feel the
H-Dog.
same way,
You're my
but that's
boy.
okay. I've made my views known clearly, so
That was a fun beef. You guys got.
That was a
going.
good beef. I like that beef. That was great beef. Lakers, though, yeah, I would try to move Caleb Bale, I think. I think he might be able to get, at this point, try to get an expiring for Jiang Lee, too, and try to get an next free agency, because I don't think he's going to be anything either. So, yeah,
I'd
that's
pay
what I would do if
expiring.
I'm Lakers. Trade Bale.
Lakers, if you
There you
are
go. Trade Bale for
needing
more
expiring
assets.
for Jiang Lee, I will be there.
There you go.
Yeah, you also offering your expirings for Lee Dang, I heard as well.
I offered
And
two
seconds.
I offered
Tilford.
2 lottos for Lee Deng, so anyway.
Oh,
All right. Let's move on to the prize of the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns.
I thought you were going to say Oklahoma City. That's a debate we could have for when we jump onto their team.
Everything good, Dan?
Sorry, just a bit of sound at the moment, so I'll keep on mute until I need it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no worries. Okay, that sounds good. I'm gonna forget to cut that part out probably. All right, Phoenix Suns. Let's talk about the Suns. How do we feel about the Suns? Wick, let's start with you on this. Wick, let's get your Suns take.
So the Suns were anointed the winner of the offseason. They had a string of good moves. But that TC was rough. Like, I don't think any of those moves actually sort of added anything to this roster after that TC, which is unfortunate for Morin, because I think he made a lot of shrewd moves. I think the one that has got to hurt the most would be, he's not on the roster anymore, but Camilo Sands going down. So it looked like he could slot in as their backup guard, and he had like a death TC at 31.
Oh my god, yeah,
It's one of the worst TCs I've seen.
dead.
Yeah, I mean,
He lost.
it bounced back nicely.
So Dan?
Sorry, he lost Sands in free agency, didn't he? Well, before that happened, anyway.
No, he traded Sands. Sands was part of the
Sorry, he lost someone
Tomoya
else.
deal. I
He lost-
think.
He lost Jiang Lee, didn't he? That's who he lost. That's right. That's it. I got
Yes,
mixed
he
up.
lost Jiang Lee. Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, hey, it's hard to keep all these backup guards straight. It's fine. Yeah, no, I agree with Wick. The Abdul Bub TC sucks for him too, obviously.
Oh yeah. That's worse. I didn't even think about Bob. But yeah, the C+ inside really makes him unstartable. And I think Mora knows that because he followed it up with that Kobayashi deal.
Yeah. I think Bub looks like a really good backup now, though. Especially like at combo guard, the point guard, shooting guard. I don't know how I feel. Tomoya, I think, is immediately their day one starter, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that goes. I might try to trade back for Bub. Now I'm just looking at small forwards. I'm like, ooh. But yeah.
Are you that desperate?
I don't know. Dan, you took some notes.
Yes.
What part of me does not scream desperate right now?
I mean, they didn't get better. That's for sure. It's still a really good team. Obviously, I think they've got so much talent in the team that whether Tomoya does, like, if he can gap fill enough, that I think that'll be enough there in the tank. To be honest, Bob continues to show Bob's TCs have just been wild ever since I got him. Like, it's just it's so hard to tell, to predict what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think yeah, the real thing is, I mean, yes, you're right. Kobayashi's probably starting, and I think he's probably enough to gap fill for what they have there. So I think they're going to be well and competing again. But when you look at the Wolves, I don't think they're the clear. Or 2 seasons ago, it was Suns are going to be the easily the favorites for forever. But I think with how the other teams are doing in the West, I don't think that is as clear this season. I think they've got the more challenge ahead of them. I mean, they're still bloody good. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with all that. And I know more on listens, so I would just kind of like to say, none of us don't expect you to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, you'll figure it out. You'll be fine. And that is annoying, by the way. I will also throw that out there. It is annoying that you'll figure it out, but, you will figure it out. So,
Morin, you really piss me off as a GM because it just feels like you're operating at another level.
Yeah, it's the thing when you see Morin make a trade that doesn't make sense to you initially. You're like, why has this happened? And then you're like, oh, the thing is going to come next. It's going to be a trade, like 2 trades down the line where you're like, I've joined the dots up now. I worked it out. But it's like,
it's like,
Morin's already like,
what does he know that I don't?
You can say the same thing if you go to like a hospital. Like, what do these doctors know? We're both human, Turns out some people just fucking know more, and that's it's part of life. You just got to deal with it. That's just, you move on. You do the best with what you have. All right, we are working with our best brains right now, and our best brains are running a podcast, and that's where our brains are used most for. So good job, us. Suns will be fine. They'll be okay. I don't love their like backup big situation either. They have 2 great starters, obviously, in Marv and Huck. Like, no doubt about that. But I don't love any of their current bigs as like a third big. I don't think any of them are particularly suited for like the third big role. Oskin's kind of dying. Benitez is more of like a rebounder, can't really score that well. And I don't like Bond and Tenley at all. So I don't know. They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. It just does suck for them that their training camp hit the way that it did, because like Wick said, they did have a few good moves like back to back to back there, where it's like, oh wow, yeah, this makes sense for Moron. And then TC happened, and was like, no, actually no, those are not good moves. Go back and reevaluate in hindsight. So I think they'll be fine though. They'll be okay. They got to figure it out. But yeah, we won't be talking about the Suns as like a bad team anytime soon. So they'll be fine. And then
Blazers.
What do we got next?
Blazers.
Yeah, Portland Trailblazers, who did make the one big move this offseason of FB3, Farron Bullock III, who immediately starts at point guard for them, right?
Yep.
I mean, Johnny Stern, you're out. Yep, goodbye. Nice knowing you. Nice seeing you. I don't even care that Farron Bullock went down in training camp in defense, because I think he'll still be better than Johnny Stern by a lot. Also, don't like Johnny Stern. So
I for one, have still got a timeshare on Johnny Stern Island. I haven't sold it yet. I'm still holding out a bit of hope that there's a starting point guard in there.
He's 29.
He did go back up in outside. No, look, his handling is still A, and he's had 12 assist seasons. I don't know what's happened the last couple of years, but I feel like he could be a good starter. I like him.
All right. You know how we were talking about Charles Lardy earlier, and whether we thought Charles Lardy was going to be good or not? Johnny Stern is Charles Lardy's tail end worst case scenario. And now you're still saying that Johnny Stern can be good. They're the exact fucking same player, except somehow Stern is worse on defense.
Stern, there's something there. I don't know. I just like him. I like him. And he's Harvard educated as well.
Karachi, if you're listening to this, he probably doesn't. But Wick sounds like he's keen to trade for Stern. So
if I found out that Karachi listened to this podcast, I don't know what I would do. There's zero. I would put there's a bigger chance that Baldwin joins this podcast than there is that Karachi listens to it. Like, that's where I'm at. So, I mean, I love Karachi. I've known him forever now, but like, that's not even a dig. Like, the man just would not listen to this podcast. There's no chance.
He has seen it.
No.
He has seen it.
He's seen us. He's seen us post clips in the chat.
Maybe.
There's no way he's watching a full-length episode of this.
Oh,
I refuse to believe it.
you're probably right.
Huber went down. Huber went down one inside.
Yeah.
And his
That
offense
sucks.
wasn't already great. I think that may be where. I mean, it's a good team with FB3 there. Li Deng is as legit as ever. But yeah, Huber going down inside is gonna be may start to pose a bit of a hole there at their small forward position. But yeah, who knows? I mean, yeah, he's not there for his offense, obviously. But yeah, at what point do you start getting less playable? Yeah.
I have this as like, all right, so we were talking about like the mid-pack teams right earlier. We were talking about like the Warriors, the Grizzlies, the Blazers. I can't remember who else we threw. The Jazz. I think the Blazers are the worst out of all of them. And now I've been on the Blazer hate train now for 2 seasons. This is gonna like people are gonna think I'm an active like Blazer hater, and I'm not. I just don't like this team, which might make me a hater. Whatever. Don't call me out on this. I don't like this team. I think they need to blow it up. I've been screaming it. I don't think they're going to win. I think the FB3 edition was good, but now you have Hammond went down too. Let's not forget, not only Huber went down, but Hammond went down. I don't see where this team goes. Hammond's already 32 years old. He's not going to be around much longer. Hammond almost had a death TC. He went down 3 in training camp. He went down in inside, he went down in handling, and he went down in defense. Huber went down in inside. I just don't see what this team does. I don't like their starting power forward. I don't like Orlando Fetters. I don't think they have a third big. I don't like who the fuck's doing it. Walt Tier, Derek Yarnell, like, right. The best player from there, Earl Gome looks like they should have held on to Earl Gome more than anything else, which is hilarious to me, by the way. I don't like this team at all. Who is there? Like, do you have Johnny Stern as like your backup point guard, shooting guard at 6 foot 211? Because who is their depth there? Is it Sean Steves? Because he looks terrible too. You know what I mean? It feels like I'm being harsh. I just don't like this team. I think they need to blow it up. I think they need to start over. And I think Karachi's a good enough GM to do it. He can get the assets for his guys, but you don't want to wait until it's too late because it's almost there. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think longevity-wise, you're right, but I think with FB3 and Li Deng, I still think they're I don't know. I think the Grizzlies and the Blazers are fighting for that top of the Midwest. So I slightly disagree with you, Tyler, there, but we'll see. We'll see how they go. But yeah, I do take your point. There's been a few bad TCs, and I just think Li Deng's good enough to carry. Kind of like how the Kings were carried by Arno Ref a few seasons ago. It's just quite a similar kind of level with NFB3 had so much more firepower than they ever had before. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't agree with that, and I know Mofo does not agree with that either. He has the Blazers as like the 5th seed. Yeah. I don't think I think the Blazers are a 9 seed. I don't think I would not put the Blazers in the playoffs if the season started today. Could be wrong. And this is what the fun of the podcast is, right? A lot of different takes. So, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out if Karachi makes any moves. Now, obviously, if there's moves that be made, all of it can be different. But, yeah, so very different takes. And that's what makes this podcast what it is. If we all just fucking agree with each other all the time, it'd be real boring.
Free Johnny Stern.
All right, Wick.
You're
definitely on your own. You're definitely on your own island on that one, so... Yeah, why don't you put him right next to Alex Wrigley? You think who's more likely to become a franchise point guard, Johnny Stern or Alex Wrigley?
Probably Stern.
All right, with that, let's move on to the Sacramento Kings.
No, Wrigley, obviously. I'm doubling down on that take.
I know some people that want to trade for Wrigley. Are you moving? We'll talk about it when the Knicks. We'll talk about it when the Knicks get there. We'll talk about it next.
Still a few teams.
We got time. Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings, who had a bunch of draft picks that did not work out well for them, and I feel so bad for Sesame. He tried so hard this offseason. He made picks that he thought were great. I like Preet Yogi. I think that was a great pick. I think he'll end up being a good shooting guard in this league. But unfortunately, the Shingdu and the Stephen Howell picks were not so good. Stephen Howell actually went up in handling and rebounding. So actually, he wasn't that bad either. It was mainly just the Chengdu. The Chengdu TC was rough for them and not what they needed this year. So I do like Stephen Howe. I think he might end up being something. That was their center that they took, Buffalo boy for you there, Wick, Stephen Howe. I think he could be good. I think Preet Yogi, if he goes up, in outside or, whatever, I think he's one TC away from being serviceable already. And that's, coming off a rookie year. He's a rookie this year. So I'm excited to see what he does. But right now it looks like they're in a position to start Cedric Nacer at point guard. And that is rough. So there's not much else to say about how bad that is. Dan, let's get your take on this first. Kings, what's up?
I don't think we need to talk much about them. A ref going down.
I started with you specifically because you said the thing about the Lakers and the Clippers, and I was like, I bet it's the same thing with the Kings.
It's a ref and a power scraps, So there you go. Sesame's tried to do the best he can. I mean, it's no fault of his. It's just where it is, and
he's trying.
I'm trying to save time on the podcast. Really, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about the Kings. They should probably trade a ref and pivot into a full rebuild.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's much you can do without trading a ref, right?
No.
Yeah.
You just
because you're just making one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just making one first-round pick each year. And, you got to trade a ref for, a bundle now. And I think that's the best move. I don't think... do you guys agree with me, though, about the 2 draft picks? I know Chengdu looks bad, but I want to, give a little praise to Sesame. The Yogi pick and the Howe pick both look pretty okay, right?
Yeah, those guys look like keepers, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good picks. And it's unfortunate about the point guard, because I thought he would be good.
It is unfortunate.
But it happens.
All right, Sesame. Well, yeah, it does happen. If you're listening to this, hey, you did pretty good for their first... This is his first, real draft, right?
Well, he was in EBL a couple of years ago. He was the Pacers GM for a few seasons. So I don't think it is.
That's right.
But it's his first draft in a while.
Mo would have picked him in the top, his top point guard. So, it's not exactly like he made a wild pick and it didn't hit.
Yeah, no. He didn't do bad. It's just sometimes they don't work out. You know what I mean? So I think he did good with 2 of the picks. Trade a ref. That's where I'm at with the Kings. Trade a ref. Get what you can for him. Get some multiple firsts, but trade him. You might not get exactly what you want, and this is what I'm going to end on with the Kings. You might not get exactly what you want, but I think you have to move him. I think you have to get something for him, and I think you got to try to do it sooner rather than later, in my opinion. Last team in the West, one of the best in the West, probably. We will talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder with Get Busy Bauer, Bauer number 2, the second Bauer, the
number 1 Bauer now,
the only Bauer now.
Only one.
Yeah. So obviously the team looks great. Obviously they look good. It's really fucking annoying, but let's Wick, let's start with you this time. What do you think about the Thunder?
I think they had a fucking brilliant offseason. How could you say otherwise when you bring in a top 5 point guard?
Yeah.
I think that was the move to make, and credit to GBB for getting it done and keeping, the rest of his core intact. Yeah, that's really all I have to say. I think they're a top 3 contender this year.
Yeah. I mean, have to be, right?
Yeah.
There's no way they're not. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, yeah, Bourne is legit as legit gets right now, and so yeah, it was already a good team. You add Bourne into that, they're a really good team. So I mean, yeah, they're going to be. Yeah, I think they're a really good contender. Man, it's just these teams I like: Thunder, the Suns, and the Wolves. Am I missing someone? I guess the Spurs to some degree.
Spurs.
Yeah, I still think the Spurs is not quite competing with these 3 teams. Like, Jacko said something about Suns and his team being the only 2 in the West, but I think the Thunder, you just cannot discount this team as being one of those in that conversation with the Wolves and the Suns. I think the Spurs falls a little
Yeah, I
short
think
of
you're
those
right.
three.
I think the Spurs might be like half a step below the Thunder and Suns. Not a full step, but like half a step.
What about the Wolves? Where do you put the Wolves in there?
I would say they're with the Spurs, just because of my doubts about Rolly.
Yeah. I can see that. Can we also talk real quick about how annoying it is that Eli Steves went up in training camp? I mean, the dude was already good, and now he went up to A+ outside and A- defense. And Brett Bourne went up to A+ handling now, too.
He went up 3. That's
like
insane. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I know. It's fucking annoying, is what it is. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think Steves was on the cusp of like A+ outside. So it wasn't super surprising.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he went up from like 96 3-point shooting to like 97, and that's what pushed him to like an A+. You know what I mean?
It could be that,
yeah. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because he was already basically shooting lights out last year, too. I don't know how much better you can even really get. But yeah, I think the Thunder are one of the classes of the West for sure. GBB's done a good job. Did they have anyone go down? Kylan DeLacy went from A inside to A- inside. And I think that might have been the only player. Oh, and Theo Campbell, oddly, went down in outside and handling. And I don't think that'll affect him, but it is a little interesting. You know what I mean? So something to watch out for in the future. But they're definitely in the class of the West. I think there's a clear top 4 teams. I think it is in some order. The Suns, the Wolves, the Spurs, and the Thunder. And I think you can make arguments for any of them if you really wanted to enough. But yeah, they definitely all have a few concerns. I would say the Thunder definitely have the least concerns from what I've seen, which is interesting. So if we're just basing off that, I might have to give an edge to the Thunder in the West. But, hey, we'll see. We'll see when the games are played. So that's it for the West. We are now done with the West, which means an hour and 20 minutes in, we are now halfway done. Let's move on to the East. We'll talk about, we'll start with the Atlantic and then move on to the Central. Do things in order. Start good. We'll start with the Boston Celtics. I'm going to let Wick start with Boston on this because he is a friend of H-Dog. He is H-Dog's friend, and we'll let Wick talk first.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to just preface what I'm about to say about the Celtics as, nothing personal about H-Dog. I love you, my brother. You're a great guy. And I'm going to see you again very soon, next time I'm in the US. But yeah, I mean, if it's true, they've had 7 out of their last 8 trades denied by TC.
Yeah.
And it's not because he was winning all of those trades. It was actually quite the opposite. Yeah, and they just tried to trade a Lotto again for a career third stringer, which has been a deja vu from their Mikal Quick pursuit. And yeah, I just think if the plan is to build a competitive team around Tilford, Galen, and Reimer, they probably just need to go back to the drawing board because it's kind of like a trio of like number 3 guys. It's sort of like the EBL equivalent of the NBA Bulls. Right. Yeah. And yeah, they'll just be in fictional basketball purgatory as long as that's their 3 best players.
Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on the Celtics. I just want to say, someone, for the love of God, get through to H-Dog that he can't win with this team and just blow it up. I mean, someone try. Someone has
tried a lot, from what I understand. But
so anyway. Yeah, he has.
Dan, do you have anything to add?
Nothing to say. I mean, it's a team without direction, so yeah.
We need an EBL Scared Straights program.
We do. That would be great. I would be on board with that. Golly. All right, let's move on. I'm not. All right, Miami Heat. We got the Heat. Heat did some stuff this year. They made some trades. They did a few things. How are we feeling about the Heat? Dan, let's start with you. Dan, what do you like about the Heat?
I think they are better than where Mofo has them at the moment. Reasons is good. I mean, Homer's great. I think, yeah, I mean, it's the real questions around that center bigs position, isn't it? After trading away Kruger, whether Zlatan Rundic will be kind of good enough from the obviously he's not going to be amazing. It's just whether he's going to be good enough for what they need. I think they're a playoff team personally. In the East, I think where did Mofo have them? It was quite rough from every 10th. I think that's a bit.
10?
It was 10th. It was 10th.
10.
I think I don't know. I just don't think that's I think it's too good of a team for that. And also it's also one of those things, right? Like it's CC here. Like if the first two sims is Rundic, that shows that he's not nowhere close. He's gonna make some moves to get somewhere to at least show that hole for the season. So I think it's a really well set up team, and I think there's enough firepower there to get into the playoffs in my opinion, and in a pretty weak East in my so
yeah, I agree with that.
Having them worse than a Nets, anyway.
Oh God, I got some things to say about them.
We'll get there.
But yeah,
Heat.
Yeah, as Mofo pointed out and Dan just said, yeah, we'll see if that rookie center is ready. But knowing CC, he's not a stubborn GM. If it's not working after two sims, he'll find a stopgap. Yeah, I think there's very low chance the Heat are out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'd say none. I told CC when we talked about it, that his two question marks for me are center and small forward. You know, Peyton Peralta has the attributes, but is he actually going to play that well? I think that's a big if for me as well. But I think the good news is you'll be able to figure that out quick. You'll know within two sims whether, Zlatan and Peralta have it or whether they don't. So you can pivot from that quick. I know he made a few moves. He traded me Sylvan as part of the Jude for Stables trade. Sylvan was just, cap. He was cap filler. And then he ended up trading back for Sylvan and giving me Kruger for him because he likes Sylvan again. So I think CC does. I think CC does, and it's going to be my only criticism of CC so far in this offseason is I think when he gets his mind set to winning after he's done rebuilding, I do think he tries to move like too quick. You know what I mean? Like I think he just all right, boom, boom, boom. Let's just make these moves now. Let's get there now. Let's do this now. And then some of them end up not working out, like the Eric Gall move. But I still don't even hate the Eric Gall move. I think say what you want, and people say, well, he traded 3 firsts for him. He didn't. He traded 2 firsts. He got a first back. There's a pick flip in there. It was really only 2 firsts. If Gall ends up being decent, just because he had a nothing training camp doesn't mean he's going to have nothing but nothing training camps, I think he could have a decent training camp eventually. And at worst, if he becomes a good scorer off the bench as a backup wing guard position, that'll be fine. I don't think CC will hate that. So I think obviously it was a good deal for Jackal. But I don't think CC will end up fully regretting it in the end. You know what I mean? I think it'll be fine. I agree with you guys. I think they'll be a playoff team for sure. There are definitely a few questions, but like we said, I think they'll figure it out. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the Heat. It's like the Suns. It's like, all right, I'm not fucking worried about more. I'm not worried about CC either. So they'll get it together. They'll figure it out. Definitely a playoff team. Definitely better than I think. I don't know how you could not be with Homer Bound, Braden Sizemore, and Urban Reasons. You know what I mean? That seems in the East. In the West, probably not. Maybe not. But the East, they'll be fine. They'll be a playoff team. They'll be okay.
The Nets.
All right. Yeah. Who said they had strong thoughts? Wick, you start. Let's talk about the Nets, baby.
Yeah. So the Nets had a busy off season after a disappointing playoff exit, and I'm just not sure in their pivot to more of a younger team that they retained enough talent. And I feel like this retool not only sets them back in the short term, but I'm not actually entirely convinced that a Dylan Stables, Koji, Leeds core around Watkins offers them a brighter future than the one they moved on from. And to make matters worse, Whiting and Syker, the 2 veterans they did keep, both regressed in TC and pretty meaningful ways that I think will impact their production negatively.
I can give
Yeah.
you my thoughts on the Nets. It's pretty simple. It's
Please.
it's Watkins and the scraps of the Grizzlies and Raptors. So I mean, that is my thought on. It's like, it's all the players that I was trying to get rid of and Tyler was trying to get rid of from last season. He's added. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, Josh is from what I've seen, a decent GM, and I'm just not sure what he's doing right now with his team. Like, it's quite kind of confusing for me. Maybe he trusts Dylan Staples more, but like, it's nothing that shows me that. Yeah. Anyway, it just doesn't make sense to me. A lot of the moves that have happened. Yeah. I mean, they did a good job getting leads for Cardews. We'll talk about that soon, I'm sure. But still,
I was about to say,
the team.
let's not sell them short on that one.
That was, in hindsight, a good deal for them.
Yeah. My only thing that I want to say is this possibly going to be the worst defensive team in the league this year? Koji might be one of the worst defenders I've ever seen in my life. Watkins went down on defense. I know for a fact that Dylan Staples is not as good of a B-plus defender as his rating would lead him to believe. And Kelly Lees is not a good defender either. They have Whiting, who is anchoring down the floor, and if Whiting is your defensive anchor, very well could be the worst defensive team in the league this year.
But I don't think they have the offense to even compensate for that. I guess Watkins in some degree, but still. Who was the other team we talked about that was
Watkins
pretty poor? Was it Nuggets that we were talking about? It's probably between them, isn't it? The Nuggets and them in terms of some of the.
I would say, honestly, just based off my first impression and what I'm looking at, I think the Nets are way worse of a defensive team than the Nuggets are, and that's saying something. I mean, I really don't see how this team doesn't allow. Oh, we lost it. We got the New York Knicks, and I guess you started with my team, so I'll start with your team. I haven't started very much, so let's start with me. The Garrison trade obviously did not work quite as you wanted it to. I know. He still doesn't look bad. I think he's still fine, and I think he'll still be good. But he's definitely like a third big now. But that problem got solved because Jarrell Lively looks very legit. So I think that's evens out. I think that's great. And I think Garrison now becomes an overqualified third big in this league. Like, he's going to be a very good third big for you to have. So I think that evens out. I think that did fine. Gover looks great. Gover had a big TC. I think that'll help. Did he have a big TC? What did he go up in? He just went up in handling, didn't he?
Yeah. He's
coming
off
either way.
A lot of development already.
Yeah, either way, he looks good. And then I think Barry Bales going up one and inside will help more than people believe. Interesting that he's already shifted over to the D potential. I know a lot of people say potential doesn't matter after the first training camp. And I'm going to hear specifically one person looking at you, Mofo, say that doesn't matter at all. But I think it does a little bit, so I'm interested to see the way that goes for his future. Other than that, I really like the Knicks. I really like what you're doing. Obviously, you have a question mark at point guard. Obviously, Serdan is your best option for a starting point guard as of right now on your roster. He did go up in handling at least, so I mean that's nice. He definitely might be more of a point guard this year than he was last year. I think this is it's a top team in the East for sure. I know you think you have a few big question marks. I don't think your question marks are that dire.
No, it's just point guard. Like, I love my 2 to 5. Point guard to me is like the thing that could make or break me.
And I think it's fine. I like Serdan though. I'm a big Serdan fan.
He was
like
good
him
last
quite a
season.
bit. Yeah,
He was good. Yeah.
Do I think he would excel as like the backup point guard shooting guard combo if you were like your third guard? I do. If you had like a better starter, for sure. But I think as it is right now, I think he'll be fine. I think this team will be fine. Really like the Knicks. Really like what you've done. Jarrell Lively is going to be a fucking stud. which is also annoying. Anytime someone looks really good, it's just annoying to me.
Is he a power
but yeah.
forward? Is he power forward?
Dan, what are your thoughts?
Is Darrell Lively a power forward? I might
Yeah,
have
he's
missed
got to
this
be a
combo.
power forward, right?
Sorry,
Is he playing power forward for you? Lively.
he's playing power
Curlin-
forward.
Yeah, Curlin
Lively's playing
C.
power forward.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What's their defense at both? Because Lively's actually better, or bigger. Sorry, bigger. What's their
Yeah,
defense?
so
at both?
Lively's defense goes down 1 at power forward, but it went up from last season still. Like, he was C+ defense last season at power forward, B- now. I don't really care about that because he's an offensive first player. I'm not paying him.
What does Curlin do at power forward?
He goes to A, but I'm of the belief that I want my better defender playing center,
Yeah, I agree.
as I feel like that has a bigger impact on team defense.
That's what I was gonna say
I see what you're
as
saying.
well. Yeah. I think Tyler actually covered everything. Question mark it. I think there's a bigger question mark at point guard. I'm not as big of a Serdan fan, but he'll be fine. I mean, yeah. I only have one question.
Not
Is
everyone
Caesar-
can
Is Caesar
inherit
Parker available?
low-key.
He looks like he'll fit exactly what I need right now. So I might hit you up with
Not to
DMs
you,
after.
but
yeah.
to every other 20.
To anyone else, to all other 27 GMs.
Tyler,
yes,
we
just
could
not
talk
Stan.
Caesar.
Okay, great. All right, sounds good.
What? No,
I've had a couple people ask about him. Wrigley is
Yeah.
getting a lot of buzz. Like, I've had
I
half a dozen teams ask me about Wrigley.
Oh, you
are
know
you
what we
gonna
should
move?
do,
So
though?
that's why I wanted to ask you. Go ahead.
It's just clipping Wick's claim about Wrigley from I think a couple podcast episodes ago. I think he claimed that Wrigley was going to
That
be
was
the next
deep.
I had it
franchise.
saved. I had it saved. I don't know. I posted it in the chat the other day. It's now uploaded officially to the EBL YouTube podcast channel. So anytime you guys want to go back and watch that, it's there. We might start the podcast with that. I think maybe I'll put the clip in there at the very beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think he could be a franchise guard now. Shooting guard. Not point. That was deep faked.
Just moving the goalposts. We're just moving the posts. We're just.
So I wasn't
I
wrong.
think eventually he could be a franchise backup point guard shooting guard combo. I just think that
Franchise injury reserve first player.
I think he could be a franchise salary cap filler moving forward in all trades. Yeah. But that's why I wanted to ask you when we were talking about that other team, and I started talking about Wrigley. Are you gonna move like Wrigley for one of these offers you've gotten? Because I know firsthand you've gotten a few.
Yeah, I mean, I like keeping my options open. And one GM gave me the idea of maybe even giving Wrigley some run at starting shooting guard, which is not something I'm definitely going to do, but something I'd consider if it means I could increase his value and feature him there, rebrand him as a shooting guard. But yeah,
Okay.
we'll see. I think I do want to get a point guard sooner rather than later, like one that's better than Serdan.
Okay.
So yeah,
I
he's
think
probably getting moved.
I think you would have to do that. Yeah, if you want to upgrade your point guard, you need capital, you need assets to stack. So I think moving Wrigley would be one of your best chances to get one. So.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Anything, Dan? Do you have any other thoughts on the New York Wicks? Wick,
long
anything else you want
already,
to say about your own
As
team?
I said.
Nothing else to say.
All
Go
right.
Knicks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the Orlando Magic. We have CC's favorite point guard still anchoring this team, Mikata Pavlenko. Interesting that he now has Jose Diggins, who also looks like he might be a good point guard, but with no outside shooting whatsoever. So just really interested how he keeps turning these guys out with the high inside and the high defense, but with no or with the high handling and high defense, but with no outside whatsoever. So interesting little factory they have going on there. Kyle Strike finally looks legit. I think. Convict isn't the most active GM in the world, but I think he's built like a decent little team here. And is the question at point guard? Is the question always point guard with them? Is it still just point guard?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the team's legit. It looks.
Yeah, I
a lot
don't like
them.
him at all. I think I'm with CC.
Pavlenko. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Sorry, you go, Dan.
Yeah, no, I was saying it actually looks kind of a little bit like the Knicks. I think the Knicks are a step better, but in the sense that every other position looks pretty good. Actually, yeah, it's a lot of good players there. I mean, Bailiff Bailiff's a backup big now.
Yeah,
it's a good team. I mean, Frankham's looking good.
I would say Pavlenko is worse than Surdan because of his weaknesses. Shooting below 30% from three and being bad defensively.
The bad defensively does make a difference. I will say, he still averaged 11 assists per game and only 1.7 turnover per game. The man can dish it out. So, he's got that going for him. And that's on a team with Kyle Strike, who's also averaging 5 assists a game. So, that team definitely is like an assist-first team, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, they're definitely still a playoff team for sure. There's no doubt in my mind about that one.
No doubt.
Where they are in the playoffs and what they'll do in the playoffs is a different story. But yeah, I think their biggest question is going to be this offseason when Jake Lease hits free agency, and will they lose Jake Lease? Yeah. So I think that'll be a big one to watch out for with the Magic.
They won't be able to compete until they get a point guard. They're probably as good as they're going to get without a point guard. Realistically, so. Do
we know if Convict? I don't know this off the top of my head, so I'm literally asking you two. Do you know if Convict wants a better point guard, or does he actually really like Pavlenko?
I've never talked to a Convict except for offering him trades. So I mean, has Convict ever offered a trade to someone else?
No,
I'd be interested about that. But yeah, anyway.
No, not to me at least. And I've made quite a few deals with him.
Yeah, I always come to Convict too.
Yeah,
it's not the other way around.
That's all good.
Interesting. Yeah. We'll explore that. If you've had Convict reach out to you for a trade offer, please go ahead and post it in the comments of this YouTube video. we're doing a little poll here, just a little study that we're doing here. But yeah, Magic will be good. They'll be fine. They'll be one of the top 5 seed. Is that where you'd put them?
Yeah, top 5 for me. Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Let's move on to another team that I think is very around the same level as the Orlando Magic, the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously capped off by the huge Blaze Trees training camp. Going up that much at outside is crazy for him. I literally from B outside to A- outside in one training camp. And now all of a sudden he looks like a very, very legitimate point guard. I mean, I've always been a big Blaze Trees fan, don't get me wrong. Not just because of the name, although I do love the name. I think this is a good team. I think Mofo nailed it with the Keen Tickle talk when he did his season preview. And by the way, shout out GMs, if you have not checked out Mofo's 21-22 season preview, please go read that. It's very good, very insightful. But yeah, I like this team. I like everything about him. I like Ross Foose. I like Daryl Cook. I like Blaze Trees. Okay, I said I like everything about him. I don't like everything about him. I'm still not sold on Atterbury, and I still don't know about Keen Tickle. But I think they're around that 4, 5, 6 seed like the Magic are. Dan, what's your take on the Sixers?
I really like Ross Foose, and I'm like, he's the kind of center. I thought about trading for him well before his good TC, and then I just chickened out and didn't trust my gut on that. Would have solved a lot of problems for me. Yeah, I think it's a good team. I mean, Atterbury is Atterbury. We know what Atterbury is like now. He's a offense-first point guard who I think is pretty suspect on defense. Yeah, I mean, the rest of it, Blaze Trees going up. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really, Blaze Trees looks like an entirely different player than we've ever seen him before. So it's, what does that look like? Actually on paper and on stats as opposed to ratings, and if that's legit, then that's I think easily a 4th, 5th seed. Yeah, I mean, I think they're struggling to crack the top 3, but I don't think they're any lower than that if Blaze Trees is anything like what his rating suggests. Yeah,
you have to start him over Omar Jin, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to. Yeah. There's no. I mean, I don't think there's any question to me. But anyway.
Okay, just making sure. All right, Wick, thoughts? Any?
Yeah, you guys said it. said it better than I could. Yeah, this team is who knows what it's going to look like with Blaze. And I also like to say it's always nice to see a player with a great name become a meaningful contributor.
Yep,
100%.
I agree with that.
We love that. We love that
my,
here.
My notes for the 76ers was Blaze Trees. What a name. I hope he does well.
Yeah. They've got two of them. I like Blaze Trees and I like Keen Tickle. We're blazing trees and we're tickling along the way. You know what I mean? Like, I love it.
Yeah. I feel like I'm being tickled when I see Keen's stats because they're always
All right.
pretty funny and pretty shit.
Yeah, let's move on from that horrible joke. Let's talk about the.
That was a Streeter joke, by the way. Streeter
Okay.
inspired.
You gotta bring the spirit of Streeter into the. Yeah, that was a good Streeter. You're right. But yeah, Sixers. I think they're around the same as Magic. They'll be a 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there. We'll see. We'll see if they make some moves, and we'll see what Blaze Trees does. I will be following his career very closely. I've always been a big supporter. Legalize Blaze Trees. That's what I say. Anyway, see, I got my own in there. You like that? Let's talk about the Wizards. Let's talk about the Washington Wizards. I like this team. I like this team, but I don't know how. Someone else start. Who's got some thoughts on the Wizards?
I don't particularly like this team, to be honest. But I mean, Hucker's obviously legit. But I just feel like they're missing quite. There's something I just don't get. I mean, I really like Hodge. I think Hodge is a really good GM. But I think there's something just missing about this team that I can't quite see where it's gonna go. Yeah, it just feels a bit in limbo, and it's like, yeah, obviously point guard being an issue, but more than that, there's still so many. It just feels like so many question marks to me. As to how this goes forward and actually builds into something that's going to contend, or just going to be in the I guess floating around this range for the kind of rest of the time, and then Hucker dies, and then rinse and repeat. That seems to be that's just my kind of take on it, but I'm not sure if others have.
I mean, I didn't love Hucker's training camp, and with him going down on the inside. I think that was not a great sign. Going from B+, A- to B A-. I think I liked Matia's training camp. I thought he actually had a useful training camp going up one and inside. I think that was actually nice for him. If they could find a center the Hodge likes, like the good defensive rebounding center, and have Mattia as like the third big, I think that would work out a lot better for him. I think right now their big questions for me are still our center and shooting guard. I'm still not super sold on Pedrag, even after his big year last year. His attributes are just so weird to me for someone who scores 21 points per game. I just don't. I can't wrap my brain around it, I guess. And I don't know. He looks almost the exact same as he did last year. He dropped one in handling, whatever, fine. Niall Elise, I think, will end up being a good power forward. He had a good training camp this year. I'm excited to see what he does. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Dan. They definitely need to do something. There is something missing. The good news is Hodge is a good GM, and they have a ton of picks. So, you look at a team like the Wizards and think, oh, they're pretty close to complete, and then you realize they still have 5 first-round picks over the next 3 years, and they can either draft or they can move them, and they can do something with it. So I'll be excited to see where that goes from there. Wick, any thoughts?
Yeah, so I think, I definitely agree with Dan that there's something not quite there yet with this team, or it feels like their ceiling is not that high.
Yeah.
And I think it's for 2 reasons. I think for one, it's because they don't have a startable center on the roster at the moment. And I think, until that's addressed, they might not even make the postseason. That's a pretty important position. I also think, and this is compounded by Hucker's bad TC, that I don't know if I'm sold on him as like your number one go-to guy. Like, he had a great season last year. If you look at his box score numbers, but his shooting actually wasn't incredible. And to me, he just seems more like like a number 2 or 3, like a
Yeah.
tertiary piece.
But like an elite 2 or 3 piece. Like what? Like you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I could see that. Like you don't want him as like your number 1 option, but he would be one of your best second or third options that you could have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I know Mofo kind of shit on him in the chat the other night a little bit, and that was an interesting interesting thing to happen. I definitely don't dislike Hooker. I think he's good. I think any team would be happy to have him at this point. I can't think of one team that would go, you know what? I don't want Kendrick Hooker on my team. You know what I mean? Like he's that good of a talent. I think he's great. But I do see what you're saying. Maybe he's not a number 1 pure scoring option. Maybe he would do better as like, you're kind of like off the ball, assist, rebound, spot shoot kind of guy than he would just put the ball in his hands all the time. Yeah, I could see that. If you could have him instead of like him forcing up a bunch of shots to get a lower percentage and 25 points per game or whatever, if you had him maybe, shooting a higher percentage, but 18 points per game and getting more assists and rebounds, like that's kind of where I would really like Hooker a lot if he settled into that role.
Yeah, I think that's the role he would settle into on a more talented team.
Yeah. But I think the Wizards are in a good spot. I think they have a lot of talent, and I think they have a lot of assets. And I think assets are important because I know Hodge will do a lot with it. So yeah, he'll get the picks. He'll figure it out. He'll be fine. He's having trouble getting the guys that he wants right now. But once he figures out how to get like assemble the team he wants, he'll be fine. So
Yep.
And
I know for a fact,
also, go ahead.
Hodge is definitely looking to make deals.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
been asking around.
Yep, I know that too. Also, Hodge, what the fuck? Where are you? We miss you.
Yeah.
Just
Love
wanna
and
throw
miss
that
you.
out there. Yeah, love you too, I guess. Unless you don't love us anymore, and then
Clearly.
Because I joined.
all right, let's move on to the Hawks. No, maybe he's just done like Dan. We might be onto something here.
He's sad
The
that I
only
represent
plausible explanation.
the only Canadian team in the league. While not being Canadian myself.
There you go. Hawks.
Yeah.
The Hawks remind me. All right, I'll start because I have a Hawks take. The Hawks are the Jazz of the West, or the Jazz of the East. Like the Hawks are the Jazz. They have really talented players at the 1, 2, and 3 that I really like, but I hate their 4 and 5. I don't know what they're doing in it. They can't ever seem to get it right. I don't know what their depth is. Is Terrence Narramore like the backup guard, power, like point guard, shooting guard? Who is backing up small forward? Is it Noam Vincent? Is it Alex Coolidge? Why are they continuing to start Vladimir Stankovic every year when I don't think he is good? I got a lot, I got a lot of questions about the Hawks, and it just feels like they keep addressing areas of concern that I don't think are that much of a concern. It was like when they traded for Ratliff last year instead of getting a big, and it's like, yeah, the Ratliff move worked. Don't get me wrong, Ratliff's good, but what are we doing about the bigs? Are we gonna do anything about the bigs in Atlanta? You know what I mean? Like what? Like I don't. Someone else go.
I mean, yeah, I don't
Tyler,
think
I don't think Calvin Simpson appreciates you questioning their backup point guard
Shut the
situation.
fuck up. All right, you and your Calvin Sampson bullshit.
He is insane. Like I've never seen anybody like him.
All right, I don't want to spend any more time on this podcast on Calvin
Love
Sampson.
this guy. No, he deserves a podcast about him and no one
Don't
else.
make me start talking about Raven Olmsted again. I'll do it. I swear to God.
I
I'll
didn't
do it
even
right
know
now.
who Kelvin Simpson was until 1 second ago.
Look at his
You've never
stats.
listened to our podcast talking about Kelvin Simpson? Have you looked at his stats? Look at his actual stats right now, and look at how many points he scores with these attributes.
And look at his height and weight. He is like a short, fat man.
I know,
He's 5'7", 209, scoring 10 points per game in 14 minutes.
It's kind of impressive, eh?
He's insane.
Okay.
He's so
anyway,
fun.
I will spend too long on this guy anyway. Yeah, I mean the Hawks. I don't think it's used to talk about. I think that Dring and Frank are going to be wasted on this team. Quite frankly, like that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they should have been pieces in championship contending teams. And so that's my take on that. So yeah,
Yep. Shout out B Money and
yeah.
Wyoming.
I mean, B Money. Yeah.
Shout out Wyoming.
Go
But
Cowboys.
yeah, you could trade for some bigs. Like honestly, it's a bit yeah.
Get it fucking big.
Yeah, it's just
Do something.
Yeah.
Use your first. Trade it.
I'm begging you, get a big. How many times do I have to beg on this podcast for him to get a big man? I've done it. Every podcast now. I'm tired
Been
of
a
it.
few.
All right, let's
Been a
move
topic
on.
of discussion
I
for a
think
few
we're
of them.
wasting our breath. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Fine. Dan,
getting
talk about
dark.
the Hornets.
Oh, I think.
What's going on? All right, now I need some lighting. Wick, God, fix your shit. Oh no.
Wait. Is that
Oh,
better?
actually, hold on. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
That's not bad, right?
You look like you
Okay,
just
that's
died
better.
and ascended to heaven. But
Yeah, Jesus. I thought you were trying to pay your respects to Hulk Hogan there for a minute with the fucking orange leather skin you had going on.
No, I'm not paying my respects to the fucking loser.
the New Orleans Hornets. Well, one thing we know about the New Orleans Hornets is that they are young. That is Streeter reminds us daily that their team is young. I think if Merrill can play up to his playoff Merrill standards, oh my god, what the hell is happening with your screen, Wick?
Yeah, your lighting was fine. How is it shit now?
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Now it's good again.
Good when he's not under shot, I guess.
What is he doing?
I think he's winding down a curtain or something. I'm blind.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah, it keeps. Nope.
Tyler,
I think
Tyler,
it's
if you
just the
don't
video.
know, that's like the
It's
color of
just the video
Australia.
quality.
That kind of amber orange. It's just it's very Australian.
Very Northern Territory.
Yeah, right. Totally.
How
How
is
is
it
it fine for like? I don't understand.
Okay.
It-
I
yeah,
think we're just
I
going to
see
deal
what
with
you
a
mean, but-
glowing Wick for the rest of this pod. We're nearly there. The Hornets, still a good
All right,
team.
talk about the Hornets again.
Still a good team. The Hornets,
Hold
still
on.
a good team. I think it really depends on how. Oh my gosh.
Is that better?
I can't tell until you're like right in front of the screen. That's better. That's definitely better.
Yeah, get it.
To be
Who
honest,
cares?
it's better
It's
if
fine.
you weren't on screen at all.
Oh, fucking got him!
But no.
Wow.
Okay, Hornets. Let's try again. Take 4 of the Hornets. They're still a great team. It just really depends on how. I think Zach Merrill is really the question mark there. Is he going to play? Is he playoff Zach Merrill, who effectively single-handedly beat the Raptors in the second round? Or this is the big question mark, right? Like, how is he going to play? Is he going to play up to that standard?
Yeah.
If he does, then the Hornets are a really legit team, I think. Yeah, I mean, they're still,
Oh, God. Are we going to talk about their off-season?
I'm not.
go for it, Wick.
You can.
Oh, God. Miles Scaife. So, what, they offered him the 7-year max as a joke, but then forgot to edit it in time, is that correct?
Is that what
Ran out of
happened?
time. He,
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
all
thought
right,
he just
so-
wanted to give Scaff a 7-year contract.
No, in case you guys are not aware of this, something happened in the chat, and I'm not exactly sure what for obvious reasons, but he went through and every single one of his free agents bids, he bid 7 years on every single last one of them. He had 7-year maxes on every single one of them. And then right before the bids ended, he went back and changed them to 1 or 2 years, but he ran out of time on SCAF and couldn't get SCAF changed from 7 years back to 2 years. And that's how he ended up with the 7-year max on SCAF.
Quite funny.
Honestly, it's iconic. That's Streeter for that. That's
It would be
fucking
Scaff,
hilarious.
after all that chat about Scaff. Like, it would be Scaff. You know what?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
You didn't change
It
it
could have
up.
been anybody else, yeah. It had to be him.
I feel like doubling down on that, like, mistake with the Tybee move, though.
That was wild.
That was fucking crazy. Like, there's so many things you can say about that move. I don't think any of them would be positive.
I mean, Tarby will never be. I'm not going to talk about it, but you kind of know.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
done with the Hornets, so in terms of talk about them. Wick,
Guys
I
are so
think
resigned.
I think you're the one. I mean, Tyler can't really say anything, so just, Wick, if you got any thoughts, well, otherwise we'll move on.
I'm staying out of it.
No, I mean,
Wick,
Look.
Wick, hold it down. Give us a good Hornets take. Give us your overall thoughts.
it just wasn't a good follow-up to their finals run. Just was
What do you
expecting.
think they should have? Yeah, what do you think they should have done, real quick? I mean, is there anything you think to
I think they could have upgraded. They could have gotten a big upgrade.
Yeah.
For sure. With the assets they used for Tybee.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Okay, it's what it is. That's how we'll end that. Yeah, someone else take the lead on this one too. Let's talk about the Bulls. Dan, actually, you take the lead on this. Dan, how do we feel about the Bulls? What do we like about the
they
Bulls?
haven't changed since last season. So
Do
I don't
we
know what
like
there is
the
to talk
Bulls?
about. It's the exact same squad as last season. So it's
There's gotta be something different, right?
I actually haven't seen TC if they've
No.
done anything, but it doesn't look like it. It looks exactly
No,
the same.
there's really
I mean,
actually
they're,
not.
they're
It
fine.
does.
They're gonna tread water in the mid-table. This might be the best team that Brendan will ever have, and it will still be kind of barely in the playoffs. So I mean, that's there you go. Lino Pape, good job, I guess. But yeah, that's basically. I mean, nothing really else we could. I don't think there's anything else you can say about this, to be honest.
He wants to move on from Rudd still. He wants an upgraded power forward. He was screaming that in the chat the other night. Even though I like Rudd a hell of a lot more now that he actually went down and inside and up in defense, because now he's starting to look like a defensive anchor type rather than kind of like that in between type. So I actually like Rudd a lot. They'll be they'll be a good team in the East. I mean, they'll definitely be a mid playoff team, like a mid seed playoff team, I think.
I still want
just because
Rudd.
the East is bad, but how can you don't or do?
I still do.
You
I
do?
still like Rudd. Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that guy.
We'll talk about my team soon, but I think if it doesn't work out for me, I might try for Rudd later. Again, properly.
Yeah, you probably should. I will say I know that Brendan has turned down a first round pick for him this offseason, so
Yes.
the value on Rudd is the highest it's ever been. We're way past the days of trading him for a second, so but yeah, I mean I think they'll be good. Craig Lofty is still Craig Lofty. Swinney is still Swinney, and Pape is still Pape. So it just kind of is what it is, right?
Yep.
I like Rudd a lot more as a defensive anchor. I like that he went up in defense. It'll depend a lot on what Demetrius Binney does, probably. Furkan Tekin, what a
He went
name.
up.
Turkish.
At first, he is Turkish. He went up. He looks good now.
He was a
I think
former
that was
Nick,
a good
wasn't he?
training camp for him.
He's a former Nick.
Yeah.
Rest in
Yeah.
peace. He's all right. I think he's a good bench wing.
I keep wanting to call him Furkan Turkin, and I just realized that's not his name. I
Close enough.
just rhyme it. Yeah, that's close enough. But
Furkan
I mean, I think that's it.
Used to call him Furkan the Gherkin. That was my nickname. for him.
Shout out to Brendan for actually getting day one bids in this year. So I think that's a plus.
He
We
didn't
like
sign
that.
anyone though.
But he tried, Wick. All right, can you let's give him?
We're giving participation medals at this point. You
Yeah,
can't just
I mean,
make a bid. You got to actually sign a player.
half
Or
of
I praise you.
EBL's participation trophies. Get with the program. All right, that's what we do around here.
All right, let's keep moving.
Speaking of Cavs. Cavs. Shout out SF, loyal podcast listener.
Shout out.
Shout out. But don't shout in the shout box.
No more shout box for anyone.
Yeah.
And Kiki
Don't-
too.
don't do that.
Stay away.
Shout out, but don't shout out. I don't think they had the TC that they wanted to have. They're definitely still a work in progress, and also don't have as many picks as I thought they did. So I think that's interesting.
This feels like
Dillard
an extremely
Denny looks
long
good.
rebuild.
Brady-
This feels like such a long rebuild.
It feels like a weird rebuild too. It feels like they knocked a lot of picks out at once that maybe aren't panning out the way that they should already.
And I don't think any of it's been SF's fault. Like I can't look back at a specific point and be like he should have done this better. Other than a lot of the draft picks just haven't hit.
Right.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. I still think Josh Thrasher will be fine. I know he didn't do anything really the first training camp. He went up in defense, and I think that's a good base, but I still think he'll be good. They have a good big rotation now with Dempster, Denny, and Thrasher. If they can keep those three together, I like their bigs. I like those three a lot, to be honest with you. Grayson Waugh, to be determined. Not the big first TC that you want out of a number 1, 2 overall pick, but
Still went up.
yeah,
Still went up.
I think it'll be okay. Yeah.
Cheryl
and then
went up.
Pizer didn't have the TC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cheryl went up. I don't like the Ian Pizer TC though, and I hope that's just an outlier. Hopefully he'll have a big one next year for SF. But yeah, very much a rebuilding team. I know he regrets the Othello Durden pick. I know that he wishes he wouldn't have picked Othello Durden, and that's fair. But you can't hit them all. SF's traditionally a good drafter. If he'll figure it out. But yeah, this is a rebuilding team. There's really not much to talk about them this year, though. But I do like a lot of the young pieces on that team, so I wanted to shout out SF for Dempster, Denny, Thrasher, Wall went up. I think they're headed in the right direction at least, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And the jury's
Dan?
still out on so many of these guys.
Oh yeah, it'll take at least a year or two, right?
Yeah, I can't even speculate on the guys he just drafted.
No, because Wall could go up like 5 next training camp, and then I would go, yeah, that makes sense. Or he could go down 1 next training camp, and I would go, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you never fucking know, right?
You really don't.
Speaking of rebuilds, Pistons, they are also rebuilding.
Yep.
They have Dan favorite Christian Iverson, Dan favorite Marcus Koch,
And
they got a lot
my
of
new
Dan
favorite.
favorites.
I love Marcus Koch a lot now since the trade. I don't know, something about him post trade
You've already made this joke, Wick.
This looks so
really
much better
endeared
now,
me
right?
to him. I'm allowed to recycle jokes, okay? I'm a Streeter disciple. I went
fair.
to the Streeter
Um,
School of Comedy.
I don't think there's heaps to say about the Pistons, other than I think my only question is Berislav the player that you want to build around? Is he good enough for
Yeah.
that? I'm not sure.
I had that exact same question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the
with you.
only
I had
I
the
mean,
exact
I think,
same question.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
rebuild's been good, I think, overall. But yeah, I'm just not sure about that piece of it. But he's a good player, so yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Wick,
There he goes.
would you build around Berislav, or would you try to move him while the iron's hot? Because a lot of teams are interested. I'll tell you right now.
I'm leaning towards sell him now because he is a few years older than
Yeah, he's
Ike Braden, and
23. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Like
23.
him.
He's still young. Yeah.
he's still young. But I mean, the contract is also really good. Like you
Yeah.
could have cap space and still have him on your roster, so that's another consideration. I don't know. I want to see what he does this season before I make a decision. Either way, if I'm MSC.
Yeah. I could see that. I will say I don't think the trade market's ever going to be as hot for him as it is right now, though. A lot of teams want to trade for him, and I know that for a fact. So, you do risk the can I get what I could get for him now later if you want to trade him later. Hindsight always wins in this league. Like I said, hindsight's undefeated, but I think they're doing a great job on the rebuild so far. They have 2 firsts this year, 4 firsts next year. Their own first in 2025. They have their own first each year. Edvardis went up in training camp. Ike Braden went up in training camp. They still have Berislav, Wale and Gozi. Like him a lot too. No birds on him though. That sucks. So that'll suck for MSC. But I do really like him. Oddly enough, I think he had a good first training camp. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. Interesting to see what they do. MSC's a good GM. So I think their rebuild will go fine. It's just a matter of how they do the rebuild. Will they keep Berislav, trade Berislav? What's going on with it? But good job so far, and that's all I can really say regarding that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, and then we have the lesser of the Sterns, according to some people, the Indiana Pacers with Ted Stern.
They're equals. They're equals to me. You both are beautiful. Okay.
We love Ted Stern. I love the Sterns. They are quickly becoming 2 of my favorite, newer GMs. You know what I mean? I like them both a lot.
But if you had to pick between pairs of brothers,
Okay.
it would be me and
would you
Jackal
pick-
or the Stearns.
Stearns.
That's the
I
question.
would.
The Stearns
I
any day.
would pick the pair. I would pick the pair of brothers that does not have Jackal in it. So
I picked
No,
the pair
I'm
of bros.
just
I didn't have to block.
I like
think
Jackal.
Tyler's blocked both of you already, so I don't know if that's.
That's true. I forget that I had Wick blocked for a while. That was a good time. That was a time in my life,
Yeah, I don't even know why, but yeah.
I don't remember why. It's not important. It's fine.
I don't think it was very important. I don't think it was that deep from memory.
No, I think I was having a bad day like I normally do. Anyway, um, Pacers.
They suck.
They hit on the Jose Jimenez pick. They hit on the Jose Jimenez pick, so I want to point that out. Lawyer Woodard looks okay. And they've done a good job collecting first, kind of.
I think that's everything I need to say.
Jimenez looks like a guy you can build around.
Yeah, Jimenez looks very good. Darren Beeching looks good too, and I don't know who
Which
that is.
draft
I didn't know.
pick? Let's go.
I didn't really. When did you pick him? 2 years ago? Yeah, so he looks like surprisingly kind of solid, which is interesting. But I don't know. I guess I like anyone with like the B plus with a wing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they're
'cause
actually
it
good
just
though.
leaves, hey, if you get right, I'd have to see him play. And honestly, I'd like one of them to get up to an A minus, but like the B plus is a good start at like 22. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I think they're doing a good job in the rebuild so far. I think signing Tomoya and being able to trade him for a first was a great move there. That's an effective way to use free agency if you're not, trying to win anytime soon. Sign guys that could be flipped. And that's an underrated aspect of free agency. Like, okay, I don't care about this player, but I know I can flip him for a first, so let's sign him. I think that was a great move. I think Ted's doing a good job so far, and I think he's kind of learning along the way. I know he's asking me a lot of advice. I know he's asking a lot of other people some advice. And so he's actively trying, and we love a GM around here who tries. So that's about all I can ask for is Pacers are trying, and I think they're doing a pretty good job so far.
Yep. Good job, Ted. Keep it up.
Yep.
We love you, Ted. More than Legion. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Fuck Legion, honestly.
We know,
all right, let's
we
move
know
on to
GMs
the
only
worst
listen to
team
their. We know GMs only listen to their team chat anyway, so we might as well just tell them they're the best in their team chat and then just move on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point. You're my
Everyone's
favorite
number
GM.
one.
Yes. Let's move on to the worst team in EBL with no future and terrible moves, the Milwaukee Bucks.
No, I said I was going to be
Just kidding.
nice. I promise.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Kiki. I just said that because I know that that's what you expect, but it's not. It's not. We don't feel that way. Unless we're talking about Ernest Cool, I do still feel that way about Ernest Cool. Fuck this man. He's never going to be a good center. Move on. All right. Anyway, where do we start with the Bucks? Wick. Actually, let's start with you because you decided you wanted to be nice. So I would like to
I do
hear
want to be nice.
your nice takes, please.
So, well, I feel like this team directionally, is, I think is going the right way. They've committed to the full rebuild and will be, I'm sure, at the top of the lottery this season. They've definitely got the personnel to lose a lot of games. They have intriguing young players. Don't know how I feel about Mac Pitcher after that TC, but Karapich, I don't think he did anything either. Yeah, I mean, a lot of like wait and see on this team. Like add another, high first round pick in the fold, and I think you've got the remnants of something. Yeah.
Dan, anything?
Not really. I mean, Dirk went up and he looks legit. Folds. I mean, the Folds trade, I've made my views clear on. I think I'm softening to it each day that passes, to be honest. I get that he doesn't have to start him, but he still will make him better. I guess we're all this thing of the league is that we all kind of end up having our favorites, and you kind of need to trust your gut sometimes to say I think this person's gonna be really good down the track, and I just have to go get him. And so that's what Kiki did, and that's I can't as much as I think it's a bad move, I can't really fault it. It's that's kind of just what you have to do sometimes, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if it works out, then at least you don't regret not doing it in the first place. That's kind of the type of thing. So yeah, I mean, I think Dirk is a player to be able to build around. And I think there's like kind of the skeleton of a really nice team there. I think he's done a really good job pivoting from his last iteration of the Bucks into this. So I think credit where credit's due. I think he's actually done really well from where he was, and I to be honest, I think I held my own I had views before that I thought he would be too attached to his players to actually flip them and try to move to something else, but he's done a really good job of actually doing it. So, yeah, credit to you, Kiki.
Only thing that I'd like to bring up is we are now going into year 6 of Dirk Whitley, right?
Yep.
He is 24 years old. If the Bucks are not able to put a competent team around him in the next 2 or 3 seasons, at what point do we reach we need to have a conversation as to whether the Bucks need to move Dirk Whitley talk?
Yeah,
you know?
Yep. I think
that's what I think is interesting.
Yeah. Probably 1 or 2 off seasons. He's not too far away before we need to start having that conversation, to be honest.
Hey.
So
Whitley could be on the move theoretically this off season
Well, that's true.
if he
Because
can.
he is now hitting free agency. Correct.
Agency,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
so-
it's not he's not coming off his rookie contract. He's coming off a very short extension from that rookie deal. But it means
but
that the offers are
he'll be, what, 6 years pro at that point, right?
Yeah. So it'll be the
And,
13.5.
So he'll still be at 13.5, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and the Bucks will only be able to offer him a little bit more.
I don't think
Based
they'll
on-
be able to offer him. I don't think they'll be able to offer him anymore because
Well,
he's on a low
They
contract.
could offer him a 7-year. They could offer
They
him
could
seven.
offer him 7 years. Yeah. They could do the same, but it's basically like he's coming off his rookie contract.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So,
yeah.
would like to make sure all GMs know, and if you've listened to this part and you're listening to us talk about the Bucks, you deserve to know this piece of information. It is just like he's coming off his rookie contract. Please bid on him. Make sure that you go after him. He's very good.
Oh God. Poor
We said
Kiki.
some
We
nice
said
things.
nice things. We said nice things about Kiki.
We
Yeah,
did.
we said nice things, and then we decided to make sure everyone goes after his best player. So, hopefully he resigns and Kiki won't have to worry about it. I don't want Kiki to lose him, but if
neither.
I also want all my GMs in this league to do their best. So, got to throw it out there. Let's move on to the Toronto Raptors, who have one of the best 1 through 4s in EBL. How
Rest
did we
in
do this?
peace, Cagers.
Have we, Wick? Why don't you talk about? I think Dan talked about my team. I talked about Wick's team. Yeah, Wick, talk about Dan's team first. What do you got? What do you got for? Actually, you
I've
know
been
what?
waiting.
Say some nice things to Dan. You said nice
Oh.
things to your brother. You said nice things to Kiki. I need to hear you say some nice things to Dan right now.
Well, first I need an apology from Dan for, I don't know, saying I should turn off my camera or some shit.
So
Yeah.
I can't even get
So,
a nice thing without an
whenever you're
apology.
ready. Whenever you're ready, Dan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This is a transaction.
First of all, did you see the way you were lit? I mean, you wasn't wrong. So.
Fair enough. Touche. All right.
Okay.
All right. The Raptors. Fuck. Like, the Omar deal. I think Omar's an upgrade over Wicks. And then you get to move, keep Organ at shooting guard, which I think is his best position. The only question mark about this team is really center, and I'm sure you would agree with me, Dan, because he had that Camilo Sands random death at 31 TC,
Yeah.
which is like 2 of them in one off season is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
2 useful players being, greatly diminished. Would you rather have Leaves at this point over Cages?
I don't know. It's hard to
Like,
tell. I mean, the thing with Kajus is that I'm still starting him for Sim, and I think there might still be something to look at to see whether he's always had bad ratings. You know, he was B minus
That is true.
inside, B minus defense before this. You know, it's not like he's had great ratings and then suddenly gone down. He's always had bad ratings and he's gone down. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be that he's kind of gone down in strength and he's always been bad in strength or whatever, you know, like, so his defensive ratings may still be okay. I mean, you know, Tilford again, but you know, Tilford's a C+ in defense and actually holds up a defense relatively well as well. And so if Kajus can do anything like that, I think I've just got enough. But yeah, I think I have to wait and see. It's just it doesn't look good, obviously. It's just probably it looks like a player that you wouldn't even put on IR.
Yeah,
It looks rough.
It's one of those.
It looks rough.
Right.
But
In
you
the
don't know.
moment, yeah.
He could be
mean,
fine.
I liked the deal a lot in the moment.
Yeah, I did too.
So that TC was fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing is that Leeds just isn't the right player for this. For what I have currently, and
Right.
so it's just I mean that was definitely a mistake, and so it's just working out how to do that. I mean, my plan is I'll play Kajus for a sim or two, depending on how if the first sim's so bad, it's obvious, then I'll move on. And then I think at that stage I'll have to see whether I can flip one of Tenor or Megs into a center that's going to be able to start, and I've got a pretty good 1 to 5 through there. That's the only depth that I think I can really part with and upgrade at center. If I end up playing, say, Megs at power forward and then get a better center, then I think I still got a shot of doing pretty well for. But yeah, it's the last legs of this team. I'm just trying to eke out every bit of feel it has left and have our fun towards that. I mean, I'm excited to see Oregon and Dyson next to each other. I mean, that's probably the most exciting part of the next season for me.
And that's what we talked about when we made the trade. Is like I needed to play Dyson at shooting guard, but he's not good at shooting guard. You needed to play Oregon at a position at small forward, but he's not good at small. You know what I mean? So that made sense for both of us, and it still does at the time. I don't regret that trade at all. Even with Wicks going down, I basically went from Dylan Stables to Isaac Wicks, and that's an upgrade. You went from Isaac Wicks to Ryan Oregon or Omar Dyson, sorry, and that's an upgrade. You know what I mean? Well, you have Ryan Oregon too, but
only one person lost out of the 3-team trade in our eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, when you phrase it like that, that's rough.
You guys won at the expense of Josh, unfortunately.
He's fine. He's a fine GM. He'll figure it out. I'm not worried about him. He's allowed to make like one bad move. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I like the Raptors. Ironically, could really probably use Marcus Cock right now. I mean, that would be a center that would actually kind of.
I had to look up the rules of how you when can you trade back for your own player to be like, maybe I might have to do that.
Yep. You have a week, if I don't know. Listen.
Well, the thing is, I could have used Stockman in that as that. I only put Cock there for expiring, so it's just frustrating when you don't think that.
Right.
My whole going into TC, my whole fear was that Dyson would go down. That was all I was thinking about, and then I didn't even think Kajus would go down. To be honest, I didn't even have that in my mind. So yeah,
I didn't either.
It is what it is.
I even did I tell Wick or did I tell CC? I was like, I really think Dyson might go down. I said that going into I was like, I hope he doesn't for Dan's sake, but I can't keep Omar around in case he does. Yeah. And then Wicks was the one that fucking went down instead of Omar, but whatever. Anyway, I really like your team. I like what you've done. It's basically the same team except for the question at the center position, other than Omar. You upgraded the small forward. You kept everything else the same. I think it's still the same. You got a better small forward shooting guard situation, but your center situation got worse. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like a net neutral right now if you figure the center thing out. And you're still the team to beat in the East too, so you'll be fine. And if you have to move Donnie Sporer too, he's an asset you can probably move as well and not miss him too much. There won't be too much of a difference between playing him or Buzzard. It's your backup guard combo. You know what I mean? So
I really like Donnie Sporer. I think Donnie Sporer is an upgrade on my backups, but anyway.
Trade offer.
Well, no, he's definitely a good. He's better for
Wick's
sure.
gonna ask for Sporer, right? I did think this might happen.
All right, reunion with Caesar Salad Parker for Donnie Sporer.
I might get back to you. I'll see. I don't think Caesar's who I need either. Me now. That will be such a bad defensive lineup.
I mean, he can score.
It is kind of the opposite of what you need right now. You need the big defensive anchor, yeah.
Hey, same defensive rating as your favorite big man, Brendan Tilford. Just remember that.
Who are you tricking here, Wicks? I mean, we all know defensive rating is a bit of a crapshoot half the time, especially in bigs. But anyway,
Tilford.
Tilford C+. Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I think it's us.
That's it, guys. we're done. We're done with the team by teams.
That was
I
quick.
want to do it. It wasn't bad, right? And this is why we alternate West and East each year, by the way, if you guys are still listening. The reason why we alternate West and East is because we always start strong with the first half, and then we try to get through the second half real quick. So, 1 year we can do in-depth on the West and get through the East. And then next year we can do in-depth on the East and get through the West. All right, real quick, MVP predictions. Give me your MVPs. I want to hear MVPs. I don't care about six men. I don't care about defensive player. Don't give me Rookie of the Year. Give me an MVP. Who do you got an MVP this year? Is this the year Loki finally wins one?
No, it will never happen.
Great.
I mean, I
Good talk.
don't
I think
wanna,
Brett Bourne-
I don't. Was that? You said Brett Bourne. Work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brett Bourne,
I
I
think the
think,
same.
would be
But I don't
my
want to say it because
favorite.
Mofo said it as well. I mean, it just
He's right though.
I mean, Brett Bourne does seem like because he's already won one for one.
Yeah.
We know we know he can win it, and then two, like if he's on one of the best teams and he's got all these scores around him, his assists are going to go way up. So, and we know the game loves their assists. So,
yeah.
I think him. I think Dacey is a dark horse candidate. Obviously, I'd love to see Musa win it. Obviously, Dan would love to see Loki win it. So, I do agree with both of those kind of top five, though, like in some order. Maybe not the exact order, but I think those are the five guys that have realistic shots to win MVP this year.
Yep.
So Tyler, maybe we should break up your question into two.
Okay.
So, question one: who do you think will win MVP, and who do you want to win MVP? As the second question.
Okay. And someone not on our team. Because obviously we just all want our
I
players
mean,
to
yeah,
win
I would say
MVP.
Sodan, but yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, right. I think honestly Brett Bourne will probably win it. For all the reasons we just stated. I would like to see Loki get his first one. I've been saying that for a few years now. So I will go, want versus will. Although I think Loki could. So I would go with Bourne and Loki as my
Yeah.
1 and 2.
I'd go Brett Bourne for me, and then Kaju's as my MVP.
Oh god.
Who would I like to see win MVP? It'd be fun. I mean, obviously Loki would be great.
Gosh, shoes.
FB3 maybe might be kind of fun one.
FB3 could. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's probably in the fringes of that top 5, but that'd be quite a fun one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get patriotic, and I'm gonna say I want to see Khan Dak win an MVP.
Yeah, that's actually not
He's
a good
a
call.
Turkish American man. And I like
Good.
Dewey. I like Dewey, and I hope he does well.
Yeah. And then you think Bourne is your who will?
Yeah, Borden.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got to be the favorite.
All right. Let's finish up. Let's do finals predictions. We'll go one at a time. We'll start with Dan. Dan, who do you have in the finals? And who wins the title this year?
I think we might have a repeat of. No, actually, I won't put myself in there. I'd say, it might be a Knicks year, to be honest. I think they're good enough. I think Wolves
damn
Knicks,
straight. Okay.
Wolves Knicks with a Wolves win in the finals. I'd say. Yeah. A
Nah,
repeat
fuck the
of the
Wolves.
Wolves again. That's right. That's my
Wick?
kind of fun guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
That's yours?
I think it's yeah.
I mean, you're in the same boat like we all are, where it's like, yeah, it's probably like the Thunder and the Wolves, or yeah, it's probably the Raptors and the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like where everybody is. But like, if you had to pick, you're doing Knicks Wolves, right? Wick, what do you got?
Oh, I gotta think about this. The thing is, I don't want to say me because the playoffs really are kind of a crapshoot. Like we're talking about 20, 25 games at most, of a sample size.
Well,
No,
the
that's like-
Spurs beating the Spurs beating the Suns last year told me that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Shit
you know,
like that happens.
the team your brother has this year is not the team they had last year, and they had no business beating the Suns last year.
Yeah, I mean, look, probably in terms of best odds, I think probably the Raptors at this point have better odds than me to make the finals with Butterman at the helm, at point.
Yeah.
Things can change because I'm always looking to make deals. Maybe Butterman will be a New York Knick very soon. Just gonna put that out there. Just gonna
Hey,
put that out there.
All right, I'll put this on pod. I have a staple gun here in my hand. If Dan ever trades Loki to the Knicks, I will staple gun on podcast on the skin so that you can just watch a staple go through. That's how confident I am that will never happen. I'll do it.
And then I would say the Thunder would make the finals as well. So yeah,
All right, Raptors Thunder. That's your pick.
Raptors Thunder.
Okay.
I mean, Brett Bourne is just the guy in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll say the Thunder either lose in Game 7 or win in like 5.
It's hard to pick against Brett Bourne in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He has become like that playoff guy. Like, I think even if the Pistons had made it last year, they might have gone on a run. They missed it. You know what I mean?
They just didn't have the front court really for a deep run.
They were missing quite a bit. There's a chance I think we could get a brother on brother, Knicks Spurs final this year. I think that would be, I think that's possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Is it my number? I think I might have the Spurs coming out of the West regardless. Even if I'm not doing
No.
I know. Yeah.
Jackal
I think that's
showed
kind of where I'm
one like 10 minutes of humility, and now you're on the Spurs bandwagon. No.
Yeah. So that's I don't know. I like the Spurs this year. I like what they've done. I think they have a real shot. I think it's either going to be Spurs Knicks or Spurs Raptors, unless one of these other East teams actually makes a move and does something. If the Hawks get a big, all bets are off. If the Magic get a point guard, all bets are off. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see. But as it stands right now, I would go Knicks, Raptors, or Spurs. So one of you two. We'll see.
If it's not Knicks or Raptors in the finals, who do we have?
Hornets.
Would the Hornets be like?
They went last year.
They just went to the finals last season.
Yeah.
So we're all pretty much out on the Nets.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm out on the Nets. I would not be surprised if they might still be a playoff team, but they would go down as one of the worst defensive playoff teams in EBL history. I do not see any way where they don't allow just an absolute metric fuck ton of points. So that's where I'm at with that. But like I said, if the Hawks get a big man, if the Magic get a point guard, East is still kind of open. Dan, get a fucking center.
76ers as well. I think if Trees is ready after that TC, I think they might actually could be a dark horse.
That's true. If Tickle tickles a little bit, hey. So,
it can be not fucking terrible at basketball. Yeah, I think they've got a shot.
Wouldn't that be ideal? All right, guys, let's wrap this up. It's been almost 3 hours of us doing this bullshit. Hopefully I can cut this down to around 2. Probably not. This is probably going to be at least a 2.5 hour podcast. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
It's a hefty one.
Good luck. Yep. Thank you for everybody who listened. If you only listen to your team and skip the rest, I do not blame you at all. Because good Lord. So Dan, Wick, thank you for joining us here today. Thank you for getting in on this, making this happen. And thanks for sticking this out. This is our longest podcast of the year, every year, and it does suck to get through a little bit. So, thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for sticking around. And what do you think the next one? Probably All-Star Weekend again podcast, I would assume. Yeah. We don't need to do like a post-sim one. Yeah.
No, fuck. Hell no. No, we don't need
to start doing a podcast after every sim. Yeah.
Sim 1 overreactions are like they're literally my least favorite thing of EBL. Yeah. I hate them so much. Every year,
I love it.
Everyone's like anointing a new team as like the new contender out of the conference, and it's like
people we thought would be good are blowing it up. Yeah.
Like this guy's
guy's. He's playing like an MVP. Look, he played like 5 games, 4 were at home. It's like, all right, So, all right, guys. Hey, I'm getting out of here. But thank you both again for joining. Thank you everybody for listening. Especially thank you to Mofo and SF because I know you're the only 2 who made it this far. But thank you. Thanks, and we'll see you again at a later date. And goodbye.
Goodbye.